Get the light on. Hope everyone's having a good day. Sorry, I had to push the show back for a minute. I had some shit going on, running some errands. We have a Tampon Tim sighting. Got a bunch of shit going on. Looks like there was some DEI buffoonery in this helicopter crash. Unreal. Unfucking real. Please like, share, subscribe. We'll get going in 1 second. Get some people in here quickly, and we'll get going. We're going to be doing Celtics Cavaliers tonight. Come check it out. Big game for both teams. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. Here we go. Tim Walz sighting.
Donald Trump's reckless action cut off funding law enforcement, farmers, schools, childcare, veterans, and healthcare. While he was out golfing, he threw the country into foolish, childish of exactly what they did. Most folks were up all night last night as we dealt with this being thrown on there with no guidance.
Oh, Tim Walz. There he is, the SSRIs from hell. I can't stand this motherfucker. Now he pops up talking massive shit. No one could find him for months.
I know you have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions because not one damn person thought this through.
Fucking loser.
I'm hearing within the last few minutes, oh, no, the Medicare thing was just a fluke. It's unrelated to this. That is there is absolutely no way they didn't know exactly what they were doing.
Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz speaking this afternoon in Minnesota in response to the Trump White House sudden inexplicable freeze on all federal funding. Governor Walz and state officials sent stumbling overnight to try to deal with the expected impact of roughly $2 billion in federal funding for ongoing programs being yanked instantly and with no warning. Today, after a huge pushback across the country, the Trump administration tried to take some of it back and say they hadn't meant it. Then the freeze overall was put on hold by a federal judge. Joining us now exclusively for his first interview
Tampon Tim Walz.
Is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Governor Walz, it's really nice to see you. Thank you for making time to be here.
Boy, I know I don't look too pretty being in the middle of winter and having a rough 6 months, but holy shit. Tim Walz must be cooped up with his old lady lately. He looks like he's fucking on a bad one. Oh, I can't stand this motherfucker. Let's see what this idiot has to say.
Yeah, it's good to be back with you, Rachel. Great first segment, terrifying but accurate. You know what they're after, and it's not that we should be surprised by this. They laid it out in 2025, so here we are.
Well, actually, let me ask you about that on this point. A lot of people have been today and the last few days crediting your campaign and crediting all the reporting during the campaign that identified Project 2025 as essentially what looked like a blueprint for the incoming Trump administration to dismantle the American government. They denied it. They said they had nothing to do with it, said they'd never heard of it. Does it seem to you like that's actually what they're doing?
No, it is. It does.
Democrats and legacy media are doubling down on everything. They're not going to change their stance. You would have thought after the last election they would change the way they do things. They're not gonna. They're that fucking stupid. Oh, unfucking real. Unfucking real, the stupidity of Democrats.
Doesn't seem it is. We took it seriously. Governors and attorney generals took it seriously, and there was a lot of planning. There's a lot of good folks, smart folks, organizations. You talked about some of them. But there's only so much planning you can do because because of the impact it makes. And just today I was at a Head Start program. What we have to do is we have to personalize this down to this matters to each person, because Republicans always want to talk about cutting government. That's in theoretically. They never want to be specific because we know that these programs are incredibly popular. But I can tell folks we were preparing for it. They wrote it out. If you go back and look at that now, you'll see this go step by step. And I would say, Rachel, that it was cruel. They planned it. Yes, it was somewhat buffoonish, but I'm not quite certain that we're reading that right. I think this is a case of that this is a trial balloon to see how much tolerance we had and what we pull back. I make this analogy. It's like you caught someone and they stole everything out of your house. You caught them and you told them to put it back. And when you start looking, some of it's still gone. What they're going to see is, oh, they didn't raise a stink about meteorology.
Oh, you must have illegal immigrants that are criminals in your house. If you're worried about people stealing in your house and putting it back and this and that, that's a terrible analogy. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, Bond Boy. I can't stand this fucking blowjob. I cannot stand Tim Walz. And they're going to keep going the DEI woke bullshit route.
Or our folks who are monitoring PFAS in our water. So let's just go on with that. Or people that we don't think have a voice that we want to marginalize and demonize. So I they were going to get this. And and I heard Chris on his program talking with Jamie Raskin, who is the smartest person you'll find in Congress. They're never going to bring this the legal way.
The smartest person in fucking Congress, my ass. Oh, this fucking guy is such a blowjob. Oh my goodness. I can't. I fucking can't. Thank God there's only a few minutes left.
Because no Republican will vote for this. And the deafening silence of Republican governors, these are my colleagues, some of them are my friends, but shame on you. You know what this is doing. And look, I come from a wealthy state that has the lowest childhood poverty rates, and we have a strong safety net. I guarantee you these Republican states would pay the price far more than us, and they're just silent on it. So we're going to need some courage. This is a long fight. This is ideologically everything you laid out. They want to destroy the federal government, this buyout of employees, because now they...
So full of shit. They want to save American taxpayers money because there's too many people working for the federal government that don't do a goddamn thing. Like you, Tim. Democrats like big government. It ensures their job. That's how they keep their jobs. Big government, yay. Big government equals big taxes.
Threaten them. The game is here. We knew it was coming. I don't know what people thought, that we were just speaking, that this wasn't going to happen. Donald Trump said, oh, I never heard of him. And now you got this guy vote that's at the heart of it. So look, it's on. I'm glad you said that. Governors are out there. The resistance is strong. You felt it. Americans, lo and behold, like democracy and feeding their children. So they're going to fight for these things. But here's what there's a court order.
Americans like democracy and like feeding their children. Well, what happened over the last 4 years, Tim? You shit all over democracy and things have gotten more and more expensive. I love how they take zero blame for anything that's happened over the last 4 years. It's all Trump's fault. Everything that's happened for the last 100 years is all on Trump. It's fucking pathetic.
Order. Who believes Donald Trump's going to care what the courts say? Who believes he's not going to do this? We're still finding glitches in our things. We're trying to access these systems again. They're not functioning correctly.
Oh, there's glitches in your system? Sure there is, Tim. You got a glitch in your fucking brain. You Momo. Oh, I can't fucking stand him. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. We got all kinds of shit today. Got a bunch of shit on the plane crash with the helicopter that has come out. Apparently, that's looking more and more like some DEI shit. Oh, these fucking... The Democrats are down on all buffoonery. They put fucking out of their minds.
And the ludicrousness... The insult to the American public to tell us that for the first time, it was just a coincidence that the Medicaid reimbursement site glitched at the same time they froze all these programs. we have to put an end to that. We have to just say, no, it's not enough. And I got to tell you, I'm sending it out to those Republican governors. We set by side. Governors don't. We have to deliver. We have to make sure that the water runs, that things are happening, and they're getting hammered. Just
you have to make sure the water runs. What about California? The whole fucking state almost burned down. And you got the balls to say we have to make sure the water runs when talking about the federal government? Give me a fucking break, you hypocrite motherfucker. That's why I don't do political shows every day now, because these motherfuckers get me so upset. They're out of their fucking tits. They just come on TV and lie. Lie. It's fucking nuts. Oh, I wish I could reach through the screen and choke the fuck out of this asshole.
as much as we are.
What do you think? America's listening to you right now, thinking about what might have been had you been vice president instead of J.D. Vance, what might have been had Kamala Harris been the president right now instead of Donald Trump. People hearing you talking about the pushback and the fight and that mattering. What does that mean in practical terms? The average person watching you right now who agrees that this needs a big pushback, what should they do?
Yeah.
Get up now!
Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. Hit that like button, double tap the screen.
Yeah, and you know that overused term, the frog in the boiling water, we've been in the damn pot way too long. I think it is speaking up. It's thinking about your neighbors. It's writing and putting those members of Congress. Look, there is no spine amongst those folks, but this is real. This is, they're talking about defunding the police, things that they've, puff their chests up and say they're good with, making the case. And I would let, to the voters, I'm with this too. Everybody's fatigued. Trust me, I get it. It was pure hell, and the disappointment and the frustration. And I'm, soul searching. What could we have done to make the case? Because we knew this was coming. We knew that the implications, and they're throwing so much at us that we're fatigued. We spent 3 days,
we're fatigued. Give me a fucking break. You're fatigued. Donald Trump hasn't stopped for like 12 years straight, other than playing some golf. You're fatigued. You don't do a motherfucking thing. Minneapolis is falling apart. All he does is how great Minnesota is. Go check out the capital city of Minnesota. It's a fucking dump. It's Portland and Seattle 2.0. I'm so sick of this fucking retread. Half of a fucking retard. He's half retarded. I swear to God.
Having them trying to debate that President Musk gave a Nazi salute. Of course he did. But that is a distraction from what I think you said it. This is game on stuff right here. And I am worried with these federal employees because they're in a tough spot. That some of these folks, especially those that are doing good work around environmental concerns, around justice for people, around criminal justice reform, all of the things that make our society better, those folks are
around criminal justice reform. What, letting people smash and grab and BLM burn down cities? It's the same old shit from Tim Walz. He's never going to change. Hopefully the people in his city fucking smarten up in his state and stop voting for him. He's a buffoon. I didn't think Democrats would be stupid enough to double down after this election. They're tripling down. They're pushing the same shit harder than ever.
Are in there, and they're making, they put out tweets from the president's fail son who threatens people like, we're coming for you. You think this is bad or whatever. So I would tell people, stay focused. Don't take the bait on the distractions. Surround yourself with people who understand this and recognize the things they went after today are basically a big chunk of what society does. And people like to have clean water and hospitals and safety and roads and airports, all the things they're going after. And you summed it up. There's societies that function like this.
All of which we have none of under the last 4 years. Like, they're maddening. Like, the Democrats have done so much for people. They haven't even helped American citizens. They put illegal aliens in front of fucking Americans. Guy's so full of shit, his eyes are brown.
business where the rich and the oligarchs do everything, and there's some fabulously wealthy people who are are above the law, and the rest of us are here. And I think we have to find that voice. We have to push back. We have to be organized. We do have to use the courts, but I just want to caution everyone. I don't know what tends us to believe that Donald Trump cares what the courts say. I think there needs to be more.
Oh, come on.
And I think it is taking it to the individual people. Show what each of these programs does and what it means to people's lives.
Yeah, no matter what people motivated anybody's vote, if you didn't think you were voting to cut firefighting, if you didn't think you were voting to cut meat inspections, if you didn't think you were voting to cut air traffic control, well, it's all becoming very, very clear right now. Sir, please come back anytime. It's nice to see you, and it's an honor to have you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. You look good, Tim. You fucking moron. Rachel Madcow and Tim Walz. I hope they both choke on a cock. Let's check out the black box and what it revealed. The dark truth about the plane crash and the helicopter crash. I was trying to be nice. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt until the news came out. Well, it's coming out that this was probably a DEI pilot. Unbelievable.
This is Benny. In the insurance world, there's no such thing as a no-fault accident. If every driver was just following the rules of the road, no car would ever hit another vehicle. We'd all be stopping at stoplights, obeying turn signals, and following the orderly traffic patterns that are set about for us. But people don't do that, and they slam into each other, and someone's at fault, and that person who's at fault has to pay. Sometimes they pay dearly. They lose their license, their ability to drive. Sometimes they go to jail, depending on what they've done. But I've never seen any traffic accident on a roadway that accounts for 70 dead civilians. Which is exactly what we see here over the skies of Washington, D.C., when a Army Black Hawk helicopter inexplicably smashes into the side of a commercial airliner, killing 67 innocent civilians, including Olympians, families, mothers, fathers, children,
Fucking
Chinese
idiot.
and Russian nationals, and quite frankly, doing extreme damage to America's faith in systems that actually keep us safe, that we require to have a functional society. Somebody needs to answer for this. Who's at fault?
This crash is getting so shady. I knew it was shady from the get-go. They're starting to fucking scrub shit from the internet to do with the pilot. It was a female. She only had like 500 hours of training in like the last 6 years, I want to say. And they're looking into her fucking social media. They cleansed it all. Apparently she works for Biden. Like, I wonder if this was fucking intentional. I'm starting to fucking wonder. I said it when it happened. It really makes me wonder if this shit was on purpose. It fucking looks like it.
We looked up the numbers. Between this crash and the last deadly commercial airline crash in America, there have been 150 million commercial flights in this country. 150 million. You can't tell me that this was not preventable. Someone was at fault. And we think we know what's going on now because the box from the airplane has been recovered. That black box is going to show exactly where the plane was on geometrics, like how the plane was moving, the speed, the altitude. It's going to show like what happened with the collision, like inside of the actual plane itself, what systems were destroyed first, what the pilots were saying, what was the internal communication in the cockpit. It records it all, ladies and gentlemen. One final thing.
No, I listened to air traffic control. It's no way it's air traffic control's fault. I'll be fucking... If they twist it that way, that's bullshit. I listened to all the fucking shit over the radio. I listened to everything that was said that has been shown to the media. Aircraft and said it did. I'm not buying that.
Before we get to the findings of the black box, which are very dark and lead us to assume the worst at this point, is this footage here that I've been showing you for the last 60 seconds. This footage, taken from the top of a place called the Kennedy Center, which is far away from the collision course, but you can see the full totality of these two aircraft flying at each other. You can note, you can see, wait right here for the explosion. You can note how long these two aircraft were heading toward each other. Watch. Boom. What you can see here in this specific footage was that the Army helicopter was flying for minutes on end in what seems like a targeted beeline towards that plane. There's just no other way to explain it.
Za, stop trying to push your Russian propaganda. Enough. Next, I'm going to remove you from the room. You're not going to push fallacies. What you're saying is not true. We listened to it. We investigated it. I did a whole podcast on it for hours. Save it.
Until we get the actual footage from inside of the cockpit of the helicopter, there's no other way to explain it why in the 60-second video, that Army helicopter went straight for the plane for a minute straight until it slammed directly into the side of it. And it's not like you can't see the plane. Even from here, we're miles away from the impact. You can see the commercial airline. And of course, you can see the explosion there. Something horrible happened. And now we have the black box. Dutch? And we're getting more keys into what exactly occurred here. Black box and jet recorder from DC helicopter and plane wreckage reveal key out.
Since you're already playing games anyway.
Please like, share, subscribe. Yeah, you got to keep on top. YouTube cleans us out every once in a while.
Plane, the crash. Get a load of this. Data recovered from American Airlines plane and Army helicopter crash in DC revealed key discrepancy in their altitude readings that may be an explanation for the actual crash, the last 67 dead. The National Transportation Safety Board revealed that preliminary data from the Black Hawk helicopter and passenger jet show conflicting readings about the altitudes at the time of the catastrophic collision. Data from the passenger jet's flight recorder showed its altitude as 325 feet when the crash happened on Wednesday night. Data from the control tower showed the Black Hawk helicopter at 200 feet at the time. Huh? The 100-foot discrepancy is yet to be explained, but the impact did occur at 325 feet. The crash would have occurred well above the maximum allowed altitude for the 200-foot helicopters in the area. So there now is Donald Trump has totally banned all military helicopters from flying all throughout this major corridor up and down the Potomac. But before that,
and that right there, Zapatinia, proves that you're full of shit.
And there were still some pretty severe restrictions as to where the helicopters can go and how they can fly. Commercial airline jets are only in ascent or descent at low altitudes for like seconds, right? These planes fly and they fly fast and they get up and off the ground to cruising altitude as fast as possible. This is a safety precaution. You've got to get up and out of that airport, especially DCA, which is a very short landing strip, the shortest in the country for a commercial aircraft. Did you know that? Because of its proximity to our national monuments and treasure. And so the helicopters were not allowed to fly above 200 feet off the ground. That's, again, going to make sure that there's as little as possible interference and frictions between them and the aircraft that could take off. So the helicopter is flying twice as high as it's supposed to be flying, according to all available radar. As to the movements of the helicopter itself. The helicopter didn't once try to evade the aircraft and also was flying approximately 1 mile off course. Again, signaling that something horrible went on inside of that aircraft cockpit. I'm not yet here to...
I think the pilot did it on purpose. Call me crazy, call me a conspiracy theorist. I think the pilot did it on purpose. I really do. I'm serious. I got a feeling that this bitch was out of her fucking mind. She was a big-time Biden supporter, supported Biden. You try to look anything up about her online, all of her social media is going, they're going to talk about it too.
Say, like, I have evidence that the pilots were part of a terrorist organization and they were trying to do this, but all available evidence is leading to a horrible malfunction inside of that helicopter, either through incompetence or malevolence that led to this. And we must have more information to decide whether it's incompetence or malevolence. It's one of the two.
It's
either
one of the
total and
two.
Complete stupidity on behalf of the pilots themselves, or somebody really did intend to do this. We'll have to wait and see. Investigators hope to reconcile the altitude differences with data from the helicopter's black box, which is taking more time to retrieve because it became waterlogged and when it plunged in the Potomac River, or the feds are hiding it, I'm not sure. They also said that they plan to refine the tower data, which can be less reliable. So the black box from the actual plane itself has been recovered. That's what you should trust. Screw the tower data. You trust the black boxes inside of the plane. They look like this, right? The flight recorders that have every available piece of information about what's happening to the entire airplane at all times for this exact purpose, right? In case these things happen. He acknowledged that there was dissension with the investigative team about how to release the information or wait until they had more data. Investigators currently do not have the readout from the Black Hawk, so they can't provide the information without the altitude the helicopter is flying. But obviously an impact occurred, and I would say that when an impact occurs, it's typically when the altitude of both aircraft, where the altitude of both aircraft were at the moment, nobody survived the collision. So what the hell is going on here? Is there like a cover-up happening right now? Again, you see the helicopter and the jet crashing right here as the plane was cleared to approach the airport. The commercial aircraft was doing nothing wrong. The commercial aircraft was told to land on this approved landing strip, and it was doing a turnabout the airport that was typical and standard for a commercial aircraft. It was the Black Hawk helicopter that seems to have been wildly out of course and illegally flying at altitudes and distances that is not allowed to fly. So it raises a lot of questions about the Black Hawk helicopter. So does Donald Trump. The Black Hawk helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It's far above the 200-foot limit. It's really not too complicated to understand, is it? Says Donald Trump. I mean, that's your commander-in-chief saying it's the Black Hawk helicopter's fault. May not matter, but the black box and radar data from the jet indicates the crash occurred at 325 feet. Helicopter cockpit display says the helicopter 200 feet when the crash occurred. Awaiting the helicopter black box to see if it explains why no evasive action was taken, and the helicopter pilots were in the clear, being at the altitude that they were supposed to be at. Okay, so they're saying that perhaps there was an instrument misreading, like the instruments were broken inside of this helicopter. You're going to have to show me data to prove that. Black box versus tower altitude difference, still waiting on the black box recorder for the helicopter. That's what we're going to need. We must have the helicopter data. Look, why haven't we heard anything about what was going on inside that cockpit? That's the thing that has me so upset about this entire story. Where is the information from those pilots? There were 3 pilots. All we need to know about how high the black boxes were on the jet, saying it was flying helicopter black box means nothing. It was obviously at the same altitude as the jet. Idiots.
Duh.
Looking for the extraordinary.
Just like the Momo that's in the chat that said it was the fucking people in the tower. No, I haven't seen anything from Kai in a while.
You to scratch your head and question exactly what's going on here. Why did they wait 4 days to release Rebecca Lobach's name? Rebecca Lobach was the female pilot inside of the Black Hawk helicopter when it crashed. I'm not here to blame everything on Rebecca Lobach, but I am here to ask some real severe questions about why somebody with such inexperience in flying a helicopter, she only had 500 hours of flight time. That's not a lot of flight time to be flying over the most dangerous possible flying zone in America, inside of Washington, D.C., by this airport. I'm not saying that she also worked for Joe Biden. She physically worked for Joe Biden in the White House. I'm not saying that disqualifies her from military service.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way, Knowledge. I was skeptical at first because I wanted to do my due diligence. It's starting to look that way. Definitely starting to look that way. She didn't have a lot of flight hours for as many years as she flew either. And she was a big-time Democratic supporter. Listen to what Benny has to say. It's kind of sketchy what's coming out.
But I am saying that if you're a part-time pilot, because you have another job here, and you're working for Joe Biden, you clearly are not a fan of Donald Trump, and you're definitely not a fan of Donald Trump's policies, obviously. You're working for an activist president. She is herself an activist. This has been proven over and over again. Her own family says she's an activist. Her own family has eulogized her as an activist and an ally. Okay, fine. Again, doesn't disqualify you from military service. What it does cause is people asking questions about why would you wait to release her name, and then when you release her name, zero social media footprint. You can't find out anything about her. Nothing.
Now you can't find anything out about her.
Nothing. Would her social media pages be all about how much she hates Donald Trump? Be about DEI in the military? Would her social media pages have anything to do? I don't know, because they're all scrubbed. And when you scrub something, when you get rid of the evidence, it means you're hiding something. That's
Yeah,
what
definitely,
it implies to people, right? That's right. She was a pilot. People are asking online, how many evaluations did she pass because she weren't allowed to fail or because her instructor looked the other way? I mean,
and this is why I waited for it to come out. And I was critical about Trump, but it's starting to come out. I don't rush to judge things. I try really hard not to rush to judge. I like to see what's going on before I come out like every other YouTuber and just say something and it ends up being wrong. But everything is pointing at fucking DEI. You guys were right. A lot of you guys were right. It's starting to look like a lot of people were right.
if she's working inside of the Biden administration, you just have to assume. You have to assume that there was some privilege there.
Yeah, I don't know, Kenneth.
Maybe
I'll have to check it out.
It sure would be nice to know. Be nice to have like her records. The Pentagon should get on releasing those. We should be able to find out everything we can about her. They should have never let her hide her name and identity. The Pentagon, like this individual, was part of this deadly crash. That all available evidence points to that helicopter being in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing, not responding to the radar tower, and then we don't get this person's name and all of her social media is scrubbed. So what exactly are they hiding here? Why haven't we recovered the black box? You know, the black box have transponders on them. The black box have little GPS units inside of them, so you can go find them in case of something like this. So why haven't we found that black box? Why haven't we heard any recordings from the cockpit? Like, obviously that's being recorded somewhere. I assume the military helicopter is in communications with a separate base. This is out of Fort Belvoir. And then it was flying, and there's military comms channels that are on these helicopters. Okay, fine. But why haven't we gotten the recordings? Who was talking to inside? Why can't we hear any of the pilots from inside the helicopter? We've heard the radio tower from Reagan say, get the hell out of the way. Like watch out for that giant commercial airline flight.
Thank you.
We've seen Donald Trump, in his immediate instincts, call out DEI in the military and say that this is a problem of incompetence, President Trump says. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this helicopter fly directly at that commercial plane for a minute straight. In no universe are you going to tell me that these Black Hawk pilots didn't see that aircraft? If we can see it from a mile away with the naked eye, then of course the helicopter saw the commercial airline. Something went horribly wrong.
Yep.
And we do not want our government to lie to us any longer. And the people, especially the horrific people who lost all their lives, their families, their children, they're Olympians. The people from China, the people from Russia, like you should be able to go on a vacation, like visit the United States, and be confident that our economy works, our infrastructure works, our transportation works, and you're not going to go home in a body bag. They've already repatriated the bodies to those nations. It's horrific. At the very least, the cold comfort is that this can never happen again. And the way you
Hopefully.
get there is you say, who's at fault?
I find it very odd she was a huge Biden supporter and had very little flight time and pretty much flew right at the fucking helicopter. I find that pretty fucking odd. Maybe they used her as collateral damage. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Hypotheticals. I'd never hurt myself or anyone else. But it just makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Let's watch some clown world insanity. Let's watch some lefties losing it. I've been saving them, trying to do them like once a week. Let's watch some liberals rage as the Trump presidency enters its second and third week. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk.
Oh, yeah.
They found him, Adam. They found him. It's fucking cold out and it's dark. That water's dark. It's dirty ass water. There's a ton of runoff coming through there from the city. And it's probably muddy and silty from all the ships that go through there. It's not Florida, dog. You know. And part of that river was iced up. Not terribly, but takes time, man. Takes time. And they're not going to tell us everything anyway. We know they're not going to tell us everything. You got to be a Momo to think we're going to find out everything. You'd have to be like one of these people I'm going to show you. Here we go. We got a good run of Wokies losing their minds. Haven't done this in about a week.
About pronouns, some of the ones that I use include z, zum, zir, zirs, and zirself. Both say zir, zirs, and zirself. What? These are forms of gender-neutral pronouns, and gender-neutral pronouns date back to 1789 and probably before that time, because the need for gender-neutral pronouns arose. It has gained popularity in the past several years, but at this time, it is still grammatically correct to use pronouns such as they, them. To use pronouns such as he, them, zirs, and yourself, the subjective, such as she or he, would be z or z. The objective, such as her or him, would be zum or zir. The possessive adjectives, again, her, but like her hands are wet, like they're possessing something, would be zir, zir.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Would be hers or his. If somebody's possessing something that is his or hers, then that would be zirs or zirs.
This shit makes my brain hurt. I don't know about you guys. What the fuck are you talking about?
And the reflexive, such as herself or himself, would be zirself or zirself. I'm going to look at the website.
Oh, I'm so over it.
That can explain this better because I'm not very good at explaining things, and it's also 1 a.m. So.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds fucking retarded.
So that young lady we just heard from in the first clip uses 10 different pronouns. I counted them. Now, granted, they were all just different variations of the word Z, but how do they expect people like us to remember that stuff? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy clown world update for you guys today, and as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it.
Knows
Put your attention on the screen for a moment.
Right?
So this portly individual goes by the name Laverne. Now, Laverne is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman.
That's into women.
He calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, Laverne uses she, her pronouns and enjoys ladies' room sex. Wait, what?
Nice selfie from the ladies' room, huh? By this lesbian trans fucking weirdo. Oh, I can't stand this shit. I really fucking hope they stop pushing this shit on kids. That's my problem with it. Leave the kids the fuck out of it. Let kids be kids. You got these kids that gotta go to school worried about fucking pronouns and who's gonna be in the bathroom with them. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh yeah, you're a hottie. Not. Fucking idiot.
What is wrong with you? Now, before we get into it, I just want to say that the crash that happened in D.C. recently where the Black Hawk helicopter collided with an airplane is such a tragedy. My heart goes out to everyone involved. It is so sad, and I am not placing the blame on anyone for that specific event. However, we are going to keep it moving with this clip of the Deputy Administrator of the FAA, or Federal Aviation Administration, talking about how they wanted to hire specific people for their air traffic control jobs. Then, I'm going to hear from a lawyer who filed a class action lawsuit against the FAA because they didn't want to hire specific people for those same air traffic control jobs. Roll it.
Hi, I'm Brad Mims, Deputy Administrator at the Federal Aviation Administration. We are looking for the best and brightest to join us as air traffic controllers. We need a diverse group of air traffic controllers to bring distinct perspectives to handle the ever-changing aerospace landscape. I'm calling on students and alumni from HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions, and tribal colleges to apply now to become air traffic controllers. I don't want anyone interested to miss out on this amazing career opportunity. Make sure you complete your full application during our application window. The short application window ends on May 8th. We need a diverse next generation air traffic workforce with people from all backgrounds. So apply now.
Rain, make it, rain, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B! She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
Meanwhile,
representing Mountain States Legal Foundation as part of a class action on behalf of 900 plus would-be air traffic controllers. So we brought this suit based on the FAA's change in its hiring practices. So it used to be that they would score a pre-employment test and it would be based on merit. And all of our clients passed with flying colors. Many of them passed with 100% on this test. And the FAA decided that the pool of air traffic controller applicants was too white. And so they flushed that initial test and they adopted a biographical assessment, which you can already hear is an ominous term for a air traffic controller test. And unfortunately, our clients didn't pass that. And we allege that the FAA changed the test in order to gerrymander the racial pool.
what did you say?
And the FAA decided that the pool of air traffic controller applicants was too white.
That's racism, man. I love to racism, bro. That wasn't some parody skit we just saw. That was real. This stuff is really
Disgusting.
happening, and it has real-world consequences. Just like the fires we saw recently in Los Angeles. Adam Carolla came out and let us know that they put a hiring freeze on white men. They only wanted diverse firefighters. Anyway, next up we have the DEI Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett bragging about this same thing a few months ago. Roll it.
I think that I've been somewhat effective. We also were able to get monumental legislation into the FAA Reauthorization Act that really flew under the radar, thank God. But this was funding to make sure that hopefully we can increase the number of African Americans and Hispanics that are entering aviation, which can be very expensive, but can obviously be very lucrative. And so we set up a situation where basically there will be full rides for those attending land grant HBCUs as well as HSIs to go into aviation. In this crazy anti-DEI environment, we were able to get that done because we were working by everybody that matter. So I do want people to know that we are working. This is just one of those aberrations.
You're a bad person.
Fucking idiot.
Like all the way through to your core. Now, if people like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who is a blatant racist, by the way, if they are so pro-DEI, why do they get so upset when we call them diversity hires? Anyway, next up we have Hollywood actor John Leguizamo talking about Trump deporting the criminal illegals. Roll it.
My immigrant brothers and sisters, I know you're not felons. I know you're not criminals. I know you're not drug dealers. You're the hardest working people in America. You inspire me. And I feel pain for your plight. Nobody gets a joy of seeing you picked up and handcuffed. It breaks my heart to see.
Yeah, go say that to Laken Riley's mother, you fucking idiot. Go say that to the little girl who was sexually assaulted in her family out on Long Island by an illegal, you fucking moron. Another ass fuck. I cannot stand.
Latin people, Latin bodies being treated this way. We're 70 million Latin people, United States citizens, 10 million immigrants. We need to stand up for each other. We need to stand up. You can't be quiet during this presidency. You need to act up, speak up, and fight. Whatever powers we have.
Hey, Johnny Leguizamo, let him go live with you. You pay for him all. You're a fucking C-list celebrity. What are you doing? Besides running your big fucking mouth about things you know nothing about. I'm so sick of this woke shit, man. We're gonna look at the Grammys too. That was a fucking joke. These people are so fucking delusional. That's why I don't do these videos every day anymore. Because it's just, how can you not make your blood boil if you have a fucking brain?
Whatever tools we have to use them. I'm with you.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
Next up, we have this throwback clip from the Biden administration of the Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services, Rachel Levine, talking about Black History Month.
Oh, here we go,
As you're
Richard.
watching this, keep in mind that most of, if not all of the Democrat senators will probably vote against RFK Jr. being confirmed as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. However, none of the Democrat senators voted against Rachel Levine being confirmed as the Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services. Let that sit for a minute. Roll it.
Hello, I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities.
Oh my God, would you fucking stop? These people just gotta link everything together. It's fucking pathetic. No wonder why everyone that follows them's a mental retard. You have to be a mental fucking retard to believe this shit. Because it doesn't affect anyone else either, right? It only affects blacks and Latin. And if you're white, nothing affects you. I'm so sick of this shit. Fucking idiot. And they let this motherfucker have the job just under what RFK's gonna have. Vote in a fucking tranny. But RFK's not good enough. Because Elizabeth Warren can't fucking make money with her drug company buddies. Fucking idiots.
Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change. Visit hhs.gov for more information and tune in next Thursday to hear from another HHS leader on how you can contribute to advancing better health for Black communities.
You look like Babe Ruth's gay brother. Gabe Ruth.
And next up, we have this fellow who thinks he's a constitutional scholar talking about birthright citizenship. Roll it.
This administration believes that birthright citizenship is unconstitutional. The Constitution is unconstitutional. I bet you didn't think of that. I bet you didn't consider that. Did you? Did you?
I didn't know you were gay.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me you don't suck a cock without telling me you do suck a cock.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, keep in mind as you're watching this.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
All right, let's take a quick break from politics for a moment and see what else is happening out there in clown world. Next up, we have Dollar Store Elmo asking this woman priest if Jesus wants America to be a Christian nation. Notice the rainbow wristband on Dollar Store Elmo. Roll it.
Want America to be a Christian nation?
No.
No, but
No.
no.
I'll tell you what I mean by that.
What do you mean?
Jesus wants America to be a loving nation and an open nation, and a nation that is open to all religions and to diversity. And Christian is one of those. And Christian is great when Christian is a loving religion.
Yeah.
And so when we are Christian in America, and those of us who are Christian, Jesus wants us to be loving. But we also may be Jews, or we may be Muslims, or we may be Buddhists, or we may be Hindus, or we may not be anything at all. We may just kind of love our neighbor as ourselves, and that is a very wonderful thing to be. And that's really what God cares about and what Jesus cares about. Jesus.
Nothing better than a pastor, a female pastor, or a female deacon, or a male one, telling Christians that they don't got to be Christian. None of the Bible matters. Nothing Jesus stood for matters. It's just all about love. And this bitch is going to recite scripture? Get the fuck out of here.
Never wanted America to be a Christian nation, and only a Christian nation. Not at all.
I think Jesus maybe wants America to be a loving nation.
Exactly what Jesus wants.
Yes, loving.
Loving and just and kind and good, and to welcome all people who are good.
She must have never read about Sodom and Gomorrah, where there were trannies and butt fucking and gay and all types of shit like that going on, and incest. She must have never read that part of the Bible. She probably never read a fucking page. A fucking joke. She's probably just doing it because she gets tax-free fucking life.
Good people who are loving people. That's what we want to be more of here. Yeah. And that's what God wants, and that's what Jesus wants.
I will fight for that.
Good. Me too.
Okay.
That's what my life is about.
Yeah, it really was. And is. Still is.
Still is.
You're all going to hell. Bye. That was a creepy Muppet. Anyway, next up we have this individual who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and recently had bottom surgery. Now, he says one thing he used to do when he would get bored is pet the snake. However, he can't do that anymore with his new rock pocket. Roll it.
So this might be a TMI one. One of the issues I've had, like, now that I'm feeling a little bit better from palm surgery is, like, I still can't do much. I'm still stuck at home. Still limited mobility, which means, I'm a little bored. And something traditionally I would do when I'm bored, and especially if I'm bored and stressed, and, recovery is a little stressful. I would.
Maybe you shouldn't have cut your Johnson off if you were worrying about playing with it when you were bored, you fucking weirdo. I'm not even going to listen to any more of that fucking retard. I can't even. Nah, we're not going down that road. Fucking idiot. Oh, I'm bored. I can't play with my Willy because I cut it off. And yet, fucking people that produce other things on YouTube get kicked off. But this motherfucker can do whatever they want. This is disgusting. And we're going to call out some more of this bullshit today. We're going to look into some more liberals losing it and a trans athlete getting confronted after competing and destroying the competition in a female race. Please like, share, subscribe. Please hit the like button to Nate's Live Talk. Tonight, we'll be going live for Celtics Cavaliers. Big game in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, looks like the girls had a chance. That little bitch behind us keeping up. But this fucking, obviously it's a fucking dude. Look how he runs. That ain't a fucking girl. You can tell, look at him.
He's a man! That's a man!
What up, Matt?
That's a man-cheating man!
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I used to be a Division I track athlete, and anybody who's ever been an athlete can tell you right away, this just ain't fair. Athletes work hard for their accolades, and those other women are working year-round just to get destroyed by somebody because they have a biological advantage. Hey, if you want to cut your Johnson off, do what you want to do, but when you start taking opportunities from women, that's when it becomes an issue. I know it's hazing, but somebody got to say it. I'm happy those women spoke up after that race.
Standing here now, a biological male wearing a dress with a pair of leggings, do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing?
I would encourage you to behave as a man, is what I would do, because you are a man, and I don't know how exactly you came to the point where you think you're a woman or much would like to be a woman, but you aren't. And I don't think anyone who is affirming your delusion is helping. I think they're lying to you, and I think it's very disrespectful, and I think it will not lead to your flourishing. I think it will only immiserate you. You might hate me for telling you the truth, but I think the truth will set you free. Furthermore, your masquerading as a woman does infringe on the legitimate rights of other people, the rights of women to have their own bathrooms, the rights of women to have their own sports leagues. That is not something that you have a right to do, no matter how sincerely you believe the fantasy that you are a woman.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. It's actually refreshing to see how receptive he was to Michael No's message. I think it's because a lot of these young men are lonely and they lack a sense of identity, so they turn to these groups that feminize them and radicalize them when all they really need is just some male guidance and somebody that believes in them. We need to stop teaching our boys to be girls and teach them to be men.
10 push-ups. We gotta get the bitch out of here.
And the weirdest part is half of them become women and still like women. Some of these dudes are going trans to get chicks. It's fucking nuts. Nuts. That's not fucking normal. That's mental illness. Cutting your willy off. Mental illness.
I'm Asian. I'm so Asian. My pronouns are he.
If Donald Trump, he just goes out there and he's a regular conservative president and we end up in a recession, fine. We've been there. But as far as the fascism and the likening them to Hitler and the threat to democracy, if he doesn't do all of that, why should we ever believe Democrats ever again, Chris? What?
Not even listening.
Get off his dick, man. Jesus.
Yo!
No, y'all need to get off Democrats. Being on Democrats is what got y'all in this position. Y'all ride Democrats so much that y'all got delusional and lost track of reality.
So did you, Charlemagne, you fucking cuck. Charlemagne's just trying to play it safe so he can keep his fucking job and his lights on. Because a lot of people that listen to Charlemagne voted for fucking Trump this time around. So I don't think Charlemagne's being genuine when he talks like this. I think he's doing it just to try and fucking pull the old switcheroo. But he's right. He's right, even if he's lying.
And didn't even see motherfuckers like this kicking y'all ass. Y'all thought that this crazy nonsense.
Both sides. You might as well go ahead and come on and join us, Charlemagne. We need some good, influential black men on this side too.
This Venezuelan migrant recently went on a live stream to
about some of the cool benefits she's been receiving in New York.
Yuck.
No one will remove us from here, not even Trump.
Aren't you glad all your fucking tax dollars are going to this fat Ursula looking bitch, this illegal, here with her kids? She got free surgeries. She's staying in a nice hotel. She got mucho dinero. She said she don't care about La Migra. Fucking scumbag going on TikTok saying that how good she's got it. Not even a thank you. You know what pisses me off? I'm going to show videos of it. These motherfuckers are out there protesting. Not a single one of them's got an American flag. They're all waving around the country they came from. If you love your fucking country so much, go the fuck back. Burning American flags and waving the flags for your country, and you come to America and say you're an American, you are not an American. You are a fucking user, and you are a scumbag, and you should go back.
Will get us out. Then she says, you know, I've been suffering from, I've been having dental issues. So I had surgery.
Oh, nice.
And they helped me with 4 teeth. But the appointments were far away, unfortunately. Then here she says, I'm in New York. I want to leave New York, but I don't have my papers yet. It's nice here, but working without papers, it's horrible.
Oh, you don't want to work.
Get a job.
You don't want to work.
To be honest. Then she keeps communicating with the comment section, and she says, I'm fairly new. I've been here for only 6 months.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Only 6 months since I got here. And then someone asked her, wow, what about your nails? How much were they? She says it was $50 to get them done. But this was maintenance, and that was an additional $30. Oh, it's only a 6-month free hotel stay. No big deal. An average hotel room for a migrant costs around $350 a night. That means that she's been getting
$350 times 6 months is fucking like $60,000, $70,000. It's $10,500 every 30 days. Oh, you got it so rough. And the American people don't get shit. What do you get in your tax return? Not even $1,000 fucking bucks. Being a slave. So this fucking fat whore can go get her teeth fixed and stay at the fucking Waldorf. Fuck this shit.
roughly over $60,000 worth of hotel accommodations.
It's my turn! You told me it was my turn!
When was the last time that any of you received a 6-month hotel freebie? I hope President Trump does the right thing.
Let me get this straight. You're protesting in America to be here illegally, and you're waving the flag that you're from, but you refuse to go back to the country that you're from. And not only that, you're taking the American flag, throwing it on the ground, and stepping on it. Then why are you here?
Look, I'm offended and I gotta say it. People will come here from Mexico and treat our Mexican Americans like they not real Mexicans if they don't represent Mexico. They ain't gotta be real Mexicans. They real Americans. How about that? They here with us. They keep their culture, but they represent us.
I'm not gonna leak anybody specifically, but let me tell you this. Some of the biggest musicians, they got paid to promote and endorse Kamala. I know for a fact that they wanted Trump. And I know for a fact that check this out, I saw actual proof with my own eyes of a private text conversation between somebody and somebody saying that I did this for the bag. I swear to God on everything I love. I'm not lying about it. I promise you. So it just goes to show you. It's like, and I'm giving you an example of like how easy it is for people, in the A-listers to easily sell out, man. It's like,
I can't wait until American women can't get blueberries for their smoothies. Oh my God, I can't wait until...
That's the funniest shit. Who's gonna pick our blueberries and strawberries? You motherfucker, go get them. Go get a job and fucking pick them. Like someone won't do the job. Someone will always do the job as long as you pay them enough money. Pay them what they're worth. Fucking CNN is fucking hilarious. And it's so weird how the Democrats have become the rich, snobby people. They're all for the poor, but they're the rich, snobby ones. And they're the educated ones. Oh, we're so educated that we can't admit there's two genders, but we don't believe in religion. We believe in science. There's 95,000 genders. Fucking idiots. What are we gonna do for our smoothies when there's no blueberries? Shut the fuck up.
Women can't get their blueberries for their smoothies, and they can't get mangoes for their smoothies or avocados for their avocado toast, because that's all immigrants make for this country is blueberries. And I can't wait until they don't have their blueberries, because then they're gonna really miss the immigrants, and they'll be like, oh my god, I wish I had immigrants so I could have my blueberry smoothie and my fucking avocado toast. Like, oh my god, I can't wait.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we had. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is...
You lying motherfucker. You always can catch them in a lie if you do your research. Oh, now Barack wants the floodgates open. Ha ha! This aged well.
Because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. And when we do those things, I believe that we can take the undocumented workers, the illegal aliens who are here, get them out of the shadows, make sure that they are subject to a stiff penalty, make sure that they're learning English, make sure that they go to the back of the line so they're not getting an advantage over people who came here legally. And when we do that, I think that we can, instead of shedding all this heat, start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as president of the United States.
Yeah, when Trump say the same thing, all of a sudden he's a racist Nazi and a threat to democracy. Somebody get Obama a MAGA hat. Fun fact, Obama was responsible for more deportations than Trump was.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
It doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow. Right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are.
Fucking little kids smarter than the adults.
Period. Point blank. Children do not see skin color, man. They love everybody. If they're good people, they love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Now I'm gonna go on a little rant because I'm passionate about this topic. So if you have the attention span of a chicken sandwich, this is probably the end of the video for you. Here's what I want my black American brothers and sisters to understand. Black people are 13% of the American population, and that might seem like a minority, but to put that into perspective, there are about 50 million black people in America. That's more people than in the entire country of Canada. That's more black people in this country than the majority of countries in Africa. Basically what I'm saying is we are our own nation inside of a nation and we are American people. We've been
What up,
lied to.
James?
We don't have to look at other African nations to find our identity. Our identity is American. We have our own culture here. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, LeBron James, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass. We have our own history here. When America wanted to send a message to Nazi Germany that they weren't the supreme race, they sent Jesse Owens, and he destroyed everybody in that Olympics. When America and Russia were going at it during the Cold War, and they were trying to demonstrate to the world who had more influence when it came to culture and art, the CIA or the federal government sponsored Louis Armstrong to travel the world and show them the beauty of American art. The blues, which turned to jazz, and then they combined together to make R&B. Then you got rock and roll, hip hop, breakdance, and pop locking. We do it all, and this is our nation. This is our identity. We've had Black American soldiers hold their flag high and die for the country. We've built Black Wall Streets. African Americans have more buying power than any African nation on the planet. So even though the media tries to weaponize us and our current culture makes it seem like we doing bad, we doing all right. Now, I started off kind of messed up, but right now we doing okay. We just got to focus again. We need to go back to our customs that created Malcolm X's and Martin Luther King's and all these great Black people in America, because our current identity in our process just doesn't do that anymore. Black Americans, stop being convinced that this isn't our nation. This is our nation too, and we have an investment into the future of this nation. We are American people. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or an L, and give me the HBO special. That's a Help Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.
Break free with the new
Facts. And you know, the fucked up thing is to these people that vote Democrat that aren't white, they lumped all the woke shit in with them. They fucked black people over again because they fucking made it so they gotta ride with fucking all the trans and gay bullshit. It's not fucking right. Not fucking right. You just fucking lumped a whole race of people in with fucking some shit you don't even know if they're down with. All right, I got one more video. It's about 15 minutes or so of more woke idiots, and then we'll get back to some news. Please like, share, subscribe. Here's your pronouns for the day. If you give a fuck, I hope you don't. I don't.
Multiple pronouns. It can feel a little bit overwhelming, and you might not be sure how to use them. My first tip is, for the love of God, do not use the multiple pronouns at the same time. I.e., do not say, oh, they here coming over tonight. Don't do that. That's not correct. Think about it as if somebody was using she, her pronouns. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, she, her is coming over tonight. You would say, she's coming over tonight. You would only use one of those pronouns in that pronoun set. So do the same if somebody uses multiple pronouns. But then you might be asking, but what pronoun do I use then? Do I just use the first one? Do I kind of pick and choose? Well, yes, to both of them. A lot of the time people will put their most preferred pronoun or their favorite pronoun at the start of the pronoun set. And typically you should use that one most. However, that's not the same for everybody. So, to make sure that you affirm everybody, it's best to use the pronouns interchangeably.
Yeah, fuck you and fuck your pronouns and your nonsense. You make no fucking sense.
I don't even know what a pronoun is.
Or, here's another option. Instead of being scolded like a little child or a puppy that just went to the bathroom on the carpet, I can tell people like that young lady we just heard from in the first clip that they can take their pronouns and... I hope I don't get canceled for saying that. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this fellow with the green lipstick on is Lily. Now, Lily is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman. He calls himself a transman or trans.
Another fucking biological man that identifies as a trans woman that identifies as a lesbian. Complete fucking predator. Weirdo motherfucker. These people are mentally ill. I wish Trump could open up asylums again. We need fucking mental asylums back just as bad as we need to fucking put a border wall up.
Lesbian. Now, when I first saw this picture, I thought to myself, Lily looks very familiar, and you know what? I was right. We've actually featured Lily here on the channel before, and for those of you that haven't seen it yet, check this out.
Yuck. Blech.
I'm a little trans girl, small and cute. These are my pigtails, yes, they're good.
What would you do if you were in the fucking... What would you do if you, like... You had to take your daughter to the bathroom, and that was in the fucking bathroom? I'd be fucking swinging for the fences. I would grab that motherfucker by its ponytails and fling it around until they fucking came out. Fucking mental asshole. Mental fucking moron. Why is this allowed on... This is bullshit. This should not be allowed on the fucking internet for kids to see. All over TikTok and shit.
Stand up, I can help. That Jimmy Overfire sounds kind of inappropriate, though. So I'm going to stop the song there and keep it kid-friendly. For all my young followers out there, stay proud, stay beautiful, and stay kind. Bye.
Okay, that's not creepy.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. Now, the Democrats recently held a forum where they voted on the chair and the vice chair of the DNC, or Democratic National Committee. And I actually showed a couple of clips from this in the last video, but it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. Now, the Democrat Party is an absolute circus, and I think it's glorious because they will continue to lose elections if they keep talking like this, and they won't be able to push their ridiculous and destructive policies on the American people. So we're going to keep it moving with this 2-minute clip of the candidates running for DNC vice chair asking the people in attendance for their vote. Roll it.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, papá. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country. So
No. Black, brown, and white Democrats have blamed Donald Trump and anyone that doesn't agree with far left politics for everything wrong in this country. Let's not get it fucking twisted, sister. No pun intended.
let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party. Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters. My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
This is fucking hilarious. Look how stupid these fucking Democrats are. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I gotta find it. I think it's over here. Son of a bitch, where'd it go? Here we go. I think I got it. The people that generated the fucking closed captions couldn't even spell ask right. Watch this.
Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today,
I ask you for your support. Oh, they must have had a DEI hire or an AI was DEI. I ask you. I ask for your support. No, it's I ask for your support. You stupid motherfuckers. Can't even spell ask. What the fuck? I asked for you.
I ask for your support and electing me as your DNC vice chair because in a time of crisis, leadership matters. My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired.
Yeah, you look like you got it rough. You got thousands of dollars worth of pearls around your neck. Fucking joke. What a fucking joke. Quintessa Hathaway. Doctor of what? Doctor of bullshit?
And the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the...
I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
What to do to organize, show up, and win.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them? Now, we saw this little fella for a quick second in that clip we just watched. So let's hear his speech and see how many votes he got for the DNC vice chair position. Roll it.
My name is Troy Blackwell. I know that I'm a new face to many of you, but I'm a proud Afro-Latino from the South Bronx, New York. I got into this work because at the age of 18, unfortunately, I was the victim of a hate crime. Today, I stand before you as one of the first non-binary candidates to run in the DNC's 177-year history.
Oh, we know who's gonna win.
I'm proud to be the only Afro-Latino in this race. I'm asking you to take a chance on someone like me, a proud non-binary Afro-Latino from the South Bronx.
A few moments later.
The final tally of votes, Troy Blackwell, 0.
All right, last clip here from the DNC forum. I promise. It is just such a clown show, but it's so entertaining. I literally thought this was parody the first time I saw it. So in this clip, this fella will be explaining the new rules because of that non-binary fella to make sure they are inclusive enough when electing a chair and vice chair to the DNC. Roll it.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week, but I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer of the 3. So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the two results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
What the fuck?
What does any of that mean? Honestly, we don't know.
Now, it is not just the Democrat Party who cannot seem to learn from their past mistakes and will not, for whatever reason, let go of this woke nonsense. Disney and Marvel Comics, who have put out a bunch of woke flops lately, just released this DEI version of Captain America, played by actor Anthony Mackie, who says that Captain America shouldn't represent, well, America.
What would the woke community do if white people turned like, say Captain America was always a black guy? What would the woke community do if they made it a white guy all of a sudden? I guarantee they lose their fucking mind. And then this asshole comes out and says Captain America doesn't represent America. The stupidest fucking comment I've ever heard. Then why is his name Captain America, you stupid prick? These fucking people have a ton of balls, no brains. They got a lot of balls, but zero fucking brains. I don't know, dude. His name's Captain America. I would like to think he stands for America. Let's hear him expound on it.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
To me, Captain America means a lot of things, and I don't think America is one of those representations. Then why did you name him Captain America, fuckface? Oh my God. This fucking douchebag. I'll never watch any movie he's ever in. I don't watch many new movies anyway. Fucking idiot. Idiot. If a white dude ever said this shit, people would lose their fucking mind.
It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then,
yeah, and he's a little fucking kid. And if he was Captain America, he would believe Captain America believed in Captain America and represented America and those values. Instead, you just continue to talk and spew diarrhea out your mouth. You fucking moron. Moron. I wish I fucking could bump into some of these idiots. I would love to give them a piece of my mind. They probably don't give a fuck because they're rich, but I would still like to tell them to go fuck and have sex with their mother.
one day, somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, there's not a sword, and that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
What the hell did you just say?
For me,
and let's think about it, right? Because they've done it with a lot of shit. What if the Little Mermaid was a black girl originally, and they turned her into a white girl? Would the woke community be okay with that? They would fucking lose it. You're not representing little black girls. Oh, when it's a little white girl, it's not an issue. White people don't give a fuck because people that aren't racist don't care about that shit. I really don't give a fuck. I care that he doesn't represent America. The thing I don't like is the double standard. There's such a fucking double standard with race, with the woke community. It's pathetic. And this dude's a fucking joke.
Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
I'm an American. You're a sick asshole.
Hey guys, real quick.
Come on.
I don't have any sponsors for today's video, but I have to correct the mistake I made a few videos back, where I said the sponsor of that video.
We're not watching this bullshit. Fucking idiots. But this is the shit that's allowed on TikTok. That's why I show you guys this. Don't let your kids watch TikTok. Or fucking be careful what they watch on YouTube. Most people don't mock their videos, not for kids. They depend on YouTube to do it. And half the time they don't. They love pushing this psychotic shit. Fucking pathetic. We're not watching that faggot dance around thinking he's a woman. No one else wants to say it, I'll say it. Fucking pathetic, disgusting, mutant motherfucker.
You saw? That was two dudes. Anyway, next up we have a real teacher in a real classroom teaching real students. Roll it.
My name is Mix Crystal, like Chex Mix. Can you guys say hi, Mix Crystal? Hi, Mix Crystal. Does anybody know what mix means? There's Mr. and there's Miss. Anybody see mix before? So, mix basically means I'm non-binary. That means I don't.
If they fucking said this shit to my kid, I'd sue the fuck out of them. They shouldn't be able to do this shit. She's explaining that she doesn't fucking see herself as a boy or as a girl. To little fucking kids on a PowerPoint. How fucking mentally ill and sicko can you be? Listen to the kids answer. They can't be fucking older than third grade. Little fucking kids. Leave these kids alone, you fucking perverts. It's like they love to fuck these kids' heads up. I swear. Like they get off on it. Let's all turn them into fucking mutants like us.
Is Mix Crystal, like Chex Mix. Can you guys say hi, Mix Crystal? Hi, Mix Crystal. Does anybody know what mix means? There's Mr. and there's Miss. Anybody see mix before? So, mix basically means I'm non-binary. That means I don't identify as a boy or a girl. Which means when you talk about me, which you're gonna snap, you're gonna say they. Exactly. If you don't want to call Mr. or Mrs., we will call a they. A they, them. So I'm gonna ask you guys for example. So I'm gonna tell you one. So if you're gonna talk about like how like cool I am, you can be like, oh, Crystal is so cool. They have cool glasses and they have black hair and they have a cool little shirt and thrifted jeans. Who can give me an example? Yes.
I'll give you an example. Miss Crystal is a stupid bitch. She's trying to teach second graders that she's non-binary. What a fucking moron Miss Crystal is. She's a delusional mental moron.
That's so sweet. Not fake Crystal, Mix Crystal. I love that. I love that you said fake Crystal. I'll take it, honestly. And that's all. I just want to review. So when we are teaching and stuff like that, just call me Mix Crystal, or you can call me Crystal, or you can call me fake Crystal if you want. I think that's pretty funny.
What did you say?
Mix basically means I'm non-binary. That means I don't identify as a boy or a girl.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
And next up, we have this young lady who is heading to the pharmacy to get all up to date on the Fauci sauce. I have a couple of questions. First of all, what's with the face paint? Second of all, why are you still taking the Fauci sauce? Roll it.
Nice tats.
I have an appointment for my COVID vaccine.
Just what you need. You're not fucked up enough. Because they're narcissistic, mentally ill assholes, Joe. That's why. Could you imagine being that fucking self-absorbed that you got to make everyone in the world call you they, them, whatever the fuck? I will never use pronouns. I'll say, hey, dude, excuse me, miss, sir, Mrs., ma'am, hun. I will never use that shit. That'll be the fucking day. They can suck a dick up till they hiccup. I will never fucking make any kids in my family do it. That shit, fucking the buck stops. Nope. You're that fucking important. You think that people gotta call you fucking all this special shit that you made up in your fucking retarded head.
And next up, we are going to see this young lady pull the biggest victim card we've ever seen here on the channel. And we've seen a lot of victim cards over the years.
Oh, I can only imagine.
You know what's really fucking annoying and exhausting?
You.
Me just existing as I am
Yeah.
is political. I'm a Jew. I'm neurodivergent. I'm disabled. I have DID. I'm trans. I'm officially a Satanist. I'm AFAB. I'm non-binary. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married.
You put all them labels on yourself. You put all them labels on yourself, you stupid fuck. You politicized your whole being. And you're fucking blaming everyone else? They're fucking narcissistic, self-absorbed assholes, like I told you.
Kinky. I'm on the asexual aromantic spectrum. I'm polyamorous. I can't just exist without the entire world hating on me, telling me I shouldn't exist, having opinions on my life, telling me to change, telling me to be something that I'm not, and not accepting me for who I am.
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something. Nowadays, everybody's crazy.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is a blatant racist, by the way, putting his Trump derangement syndrome on full display at this press conference. Now, I personally think Brandon Johnson is the worst mayor in the entire country, and the people of Chicago are paying for it right now. I would say to them, stop voting for Democrats.
Yeah.
Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time.
Another Democrat that cares about illegals more than his citizens.
But here's what I'm getting at. This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen. If anybody is questioning whether or not what our country would look like had the Confederacy won, there should be no question now. They want us to be afraid. Do not be afraid, Chicago. Whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, I'm always going to stand for the interests of working people. And I will not be intimidated by some weak individual who won't stand up to an individual who believes he's a supreme being right now. You're worried about Chicago? Look in your front yard. We have a president right now who is obfuscating his responsibilities that should be very clear based.
So he's not taking care of his responsibilities, but you have hundreds of thousands of illegals sucking up taxpayer dollars that are supposed to go to poor black citizens, and you're going to point your finger at Trump? The city of Chicago is a fucking shithole. Those poor kids are out there in gangs, unaliving each other at enormous rates. And you got fucking illegals running around like crazy, taking all the fucking money that could hopefully help these people figure out how to stop the gang violence in Chicago. And you're going to point the finger at Trump when you had Biden and Kamala in there for 4 years and you took illegal immigrants at an astronomical volume into your city. This guy's the worst. There's a special place in hell for this fucking moron. Democrats are doubling and tripling down on the shit they've been pushing for the last 8 years. It's not going to stop. They're not going to change the playbook. It's quite obvious. So keep voting keep voting Republican if you want the country to get back to normal. It's the only way it's going to happen. If you go back to these motherfuckers, it's going to go right back to shit. Very quickly.
Upon the Constitution. He is rejecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this land. So
this guy thinks he was a slave. This guy thinks people that are alive today bought and sold slaves. That tells you everything. You can't win with a motherfucker like this. You can't win. He's going to be a victim no matter what. And he's going to lie about everything. Everything he just said is an exact reflection of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's 4 years. And then he likes to talk about the Constitution like he gives a fuck about it. Who cared about the Constitution while Biden was in there? How dare you talk about the Constitution and when it comes to Trump? You fucking idiot.
So whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, the people of Chicago will not be intimidated or threatened by any individual who is unwilling to look in their own front yard of what the real threat to our democracy lies. Thank you.
He's afraid to look at his own front yard. No, Brandon Johnson, you are. Look at Chicago. Look at Chicago. Democrats lie right to your face. They lie right to your fucking face. I know they all lie, but these motherfuckers don't care. They expect you to believe the lie. They don't even try to twist it. They fucking lie right to your face and hope you're just on their side. It's fucking, I've never seen nothing like it. It's complete mental illness. Do you know how much of a psycho you gotta be to go up on national TV like this dude and say the shit he does and then watch the policy he enforces? It's fucking wild. I've never seen anything fucking like it. Never seen a motherfucking thing like it in my life. Al Sharpton, I'm gonna show him lying again. Another fucking blowjob. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. I can't stand the Democratic Party nowadays. They're fucking disgusting.
People doing their shopping, some of them specifically choosing Costco after other companies ditched their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Our Brittany Miller spoke to shoppers today in Harlem.
This wasn't your average trip to the grocery store. Every purchase had a purpose.
We're going to shop where we're wanted.
100 members of the National Action Network joined Reverend Al Sharpton to shop at Costco in support of the company's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Shareholders recently voted against a proposal to assess the risks.
This is not a boycott. This is a boycott, where we are buying into companies that are supporting DEI measures.
This comes days after President Donald Trump signed an executive order to get rid of DEI programs. Related documents on websites like the U.S. Office of Personnel Management are gone. An HBCU conference at Rutgers University, funded by the Department of Labor, was canceled. The president has also called for all federal DEI staff to be put on paid leave and eventually laid off.
DEI started to gain traction after the killing of...
I guarantee everyone in fucking Al Sharpton's camp hanging out with him right there didn't buy a fucking thing. What a way to fight fucking... what a way to fight Republicans with fucking capitalism. Way to go, Al Sharpton. Way to combat democracy with fucking consumerism. This is a fucking joke. This is funny. This is fucking hilarious. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black again. Yeah, we're going to shop at Costco because they kept DEI. Oh, you didn't like any big industry. You were against capitalism, I thought. Come on, Al. Which way's it going to be, Al? You fucking cuck. Ugh, I can't stand Al Sharpton. Race baiting fucking motherfucker. I can't wait till he bites the dust. He's getting up there. He looks like the fucking crypt keeper.
Of George Floyd, corporations came forward and said,
you said it too, 1M.
we're going to do this because race needs to be dealt with.
Recently, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, and Meta have all rolled back their policies.
1M said the same thing. That's hilarious.
Target.
I think many of them are realizing that these DEI programs were unfair. We find out when it's actually implemented, it's more like discrimination.
It's not true at all. DEI programs basically prevent us from going backwards to a
Megan Buckley, nothing worse than a woke white woman. I guarantee she's making a ton of money off this political statement. National Action Network member. Yeah, she's in it for her money. Guaranteed she's fucking doing all right. Most of these people involved with these government programs they're shutting down that are big money grabs, that fucking white, run these big programs where they get paid off it. That's why they don't want the shit to go away. It's easy money for them. Way to fight fucking capitalism with consumerism, you stupid bitch. Fucking idiots.
time when white supremacy and white straight men ruled the law of the land. So we are trying to prevent that pushback, which is clearly happening in this administration right now.
And this isn't the end to their call to action. Reverend Al Sharpton says over the next 90 days, they'll identify businesses who have abandoned those DEI policies and boycott them. In Harlem, Brittany Miller, News 4 New York.
When I was diagnosed with HIV,
fucking unreal. That's another one too. Speaking of this commercial, because there was some big thing coming out lately, right? About there was supposed to be a wake for an AIDS person, something yada yada yada, standing up for AIDS victims and all this shit. And when's the last? And someone asked me, "Are you going to go?" I go, "No." They go, "Why?" This, that, and the other thing. It's a big deal. There's problems of it. I go, "Dude, when's the last time you fucking remember a AIDS victim dying? Like, that you knew personally?" He goes, "Oh, that's a good point." I go, "Dude, I don't know anyone that ever died of AIDS. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" They keep pushing all this fucking bullshit. And we're going to watch some more bullshit that Charlie Kirk's going to expose. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. We'll be covering the Celtics game tonight. We cover sports, politics. We do a little bit of everything. I've been YouTubing for about 9 months or so, somewhere around there, 9 or 10. Please come hang out, chill out with us. We'll be covering the Super Bowl. So we do UFC fights, boxing, all kinds of sports, all kinds of politics and news. Thank you for checking us out today. Thank you guys in the chat for your comments. The Grammys was a fucking dud. Ugh, I didn't watch any of it. I watched a few videos about it. It was just more woke nonsense. And we're going to watch a video from Charlie Kirk. The Grammys, America's annual shit show. And boy, was it a shit show this year.
Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Okay, everybody. Apparently, the Grammys was last night. Couldn't care less. However, I guess a lot of people care about it. And politics was discussed a fair amount. Can I just pause and say, have you noticed how awful modern music is? It's more akin to noise. I'm curious of those of you guys in the YouTube comments. Do any of you like any of this music? And if so, please tell me why.
No.
I mean, I can't even pronounce some of these people I'm supposed to talk about. Chappelle Rowan, Charlie XCX. Who are these people? These people are, I mean, these are no talent hacks, I'll tell you what. Speaking of which, let's listen to what they have to say about politics. Apparently, there was this big thing that the fake country music artist Beyonce won some award or something, or didn't, or was surprised.
And the Grammy goes to
Is that Taylor Swift?
Cowboy Carter.
Get the fuck out of here.
Why did she dye her hair blonde? Is she appropriating white Anglo-Saxon? And then didn't perform. That was her. No, but I mean, a serious question. How is it not cultural appropriation that she's culturally appropriating white people culture? That's okay? Okay. Let's go.
What a load of shit. Yeah, I don't know. Something shorted out. Fucking Beyonce, country album of the year. Give me a fucking break. Yeah. Fucking real country, all right. What a fucking joke. I didn't listen to that shit. I'm sure it wasn't even close to a fucking country album. Not a real one. Even country music, they barely play instruments anymore. That shit's starting to become all fucking bullshit too. What a fucking joke. She goes up there in a blonde with her blonde hair. All people that hate on white people do is called cultural appropriation when a white person wears braids or does something that's considered black. But, you know, black girls can do whatever the fuck they want to look like white people, and it's okay. I'm just calling out the double standard. I really don't give a fuck, but the double standard bothers me. Like, if it's okay one way, it's okay both ways. Enough. And then you're going to give it a country music award of the year. Fucking, come on. Give me a fucking break.
To Let's go to 51.
This is not the time to shut down
Who watches
the diversity of
Were
voices.
the ratings good?
We've seen on this stage talented, hardworking people from different backgrounds with different points of
just
view.
Alicia
and it
Keys.
changes
I used
the
to
game.
like Alicia Keys.
DEI
She
is
hasn't been
not
relevant
a
in like
threat,
20
it's
years.
a gift.
With
DEI is not a threat, it's a gift. That's the perfect way to put it. It is a threat because it's a gift. You're gifting someone a fucking job they don't deserve. You're giving someone a job based on their sex or their skin color. It's the gift of all gifts. And it's dangerous. And it's wrong.
thunderous applause. I'll tell you, this is really setting the table for kind of widespread cultural dominance.
Fucking
And
joke.
who set the standard that the award shows should just become like MSNBC, where they're just kind of getting in their little pot shots? Trevor Noah, who's allegedly a funny man, play cut 53.
Trevor Noah.
Yesterday, Beyonce announced her new tour. Yes. Everyone saw that. I will say, though, Beyonce, there's tariffs. We can't afford a new tour. Right? Maple syrup is about to be $50.
That was so funny, I forgot to laugh.
No shit.
Let's play cut 48.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting all of us and recognizing the heroes that are standing behind me and the sheroes.
The sheroes. What the fuck?
What?
The sheroes.
It's just, I have a thought that I'm not going to say because it's not YouTube friendly. Let's play cut 52.
Cock. I'm not going to play the music, but yeah, it looks like a good time. Complete mayhem, fucking hookering, bullshit, retardedness.
Okay, let's play cut 46.
And I just want to say tonight that trans people are not invisible. Trans people deserve love. The queer community deserves to be lifted up. Music is love. Thank you.
Yeah, you love the money.
Thoughts on this that I'm not allowed to say on this platform. It's like a mashup of all the stuff that we voted out.
Yep.
They're not changing at all. This is a religion to these people.
Yep, they're not
57.
going to change.
What is that? Can we go full screen?
Huh.
What, I don't understand.
Will Smith's retarded children. What the fuck is wrong with Will Smith's kids? Oh, that's right. They're half Jadas. That explains it. What the fuck is wrong with you two? If my daughter left the house like that, I'd grab her by her hair and go, no, you don't. And if my son ever did that, I'd kick him in the ass and fucking break the fucking castle off his head. Fucking morons. It's like they just like to be weird. We're just weirdos. We're weirdos. Just say you're a fucking weirdo. Wonder why all these kids act fucking weird. Let's make the population as dumb and as weird and as fucked up as we can.
I don't know who Jaden Smith is. What is it? Will Smith's son or something? But like, I mean, why is it so automatic that we're supposed to know these buffoons? Their music sucks. They're not funny. Opportunity won't wait. Don't miss your chance to own.
Fucking ridiculous. Glad I don't watch that shit. I used to love music. Music is fucking horrible now.
I want to dedicate this award to all my immigrant brothers and sisters in this country. You are loved, you are worth it, and I will always fight with you.
What country is she from? Brazil?
I think
she's
Colombia.
From Colombia. Does she live in Colombia? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew said.
Another one loves their country so much but lives in the U.S.
Brazil. Racist. Play cut 50. Chappelle Rowan. Did I say that right?
Right now, but trans people have always existed and they will forever exist, and they will never, no matter what happens, take trans joy away, and that has to be protected more than anything, because I would not be here without trans girls.
This is actually a clown show. This is like worse than, I think, the Hunger Games processional. You can tell a lot about a culture based on its art. And this is supposed to be the best of the music that we have to offer. It just goes to show the cultural degeneracy that is happening all around us. And people that watch this and voluntarily...
Ryan Nunn, I might be getting old, but I know good music when I hear it. I like the Kendrick Lamar album. Kendrick's album was all right. There's not any other fucking rap song I liked all year long, pretty much. Beyonce won Country Album of the Year. That's a fucking joke. I think you're out of touch, dude. If you think music is better now than it ever has been, you're out of your fucking mind. You don't know what fucking good music is or something. I may be getting old, but I'm not fucking a moron.
spend your time. I mean, you're participating in this, but it is literally indistinguishable from a big tent circus act. People not wearing clothes, people gyrating on stage, and they wonder why they've lost the country. Oh, we can finish it with
it's gotten bad, Ryan. Come on.
Joy Villa. Let's go to country.
You just want to start an argument.
I think the ones that should be deported are being deported. To be honest, I'm a Latina. My family came from this country to this country legally. And I love to see rapists, human traffickers deported. I don't want to see them here. I want us to be free for all colors, for all people. Like, that's what makes America great again. So we can create, so we can live. Like, as an artist, as a musician, I want to be able to walk at night and not think that I'm going to get killed by an illegal alien. And so those are the people getting deported, and those are the people that should get deported.
Well done, Joy. That is very well said. What a clown show this is. I don't remember it being this bad like 10 years ago.
No.
Was it this bad?
It wasn't this bad.
It's been getting worse and worse. It's like there's just no regulation at all.
Nothing. It's garbage. Complete garbage. Dog shit. Complete dog shit. And if you want to be in denial, you be in denial. You want to be like Ryan and be in denial, that's fine. It's fucking complete dog shit. We all know it. It doesn't take a fucking genius. Let's check out the LA police in riot gear in LA with protesters burning the American flag, waving their country's flag. You don't like America, go the fuck home. Please. We don't want your fucking illegal ass anyway. Straight up. Sick of paying for your welfare.
President Trump unleashing an immigration enforcement machine, carrying out his promise to secure our southern border and the northern one. Defense Secretary
Ryan, you're a Momo.
is visiting active duty military in El Paso, Texas, who are working alongside now Border Patrol agents.
You're a Momo.
The numbers are getting
I listen to more music than anyone.
We have new images of the
None
United
of it's
States
really
Marines
good.
arriving at Guantanamo Bay, where violent illegal immigrants will be detained. Also this, the Trump administration has been working round the clock to round up and deport criminal illegals on flights out of our country. Trump's crackdown has also sparked protesting across the country. In Dallas, people taking to the streets waving Mexican flags. In Los Angeles, police in riot gear forming a human barricade to shut down a protest that was blocking the busy 101 freeway. And in another surprising video, protesters burned the American flag. Well, whose side are they on?
You are.
To put those images up because I know it causes more people just to try to get attention by burning flags, but there you have it.
So you decide at 9 o'clock in the morning, a social media a post went out that said protest, and the police let 101 freeway with everything that the trauma that everything that Los Angeles has been through, traffic anyway on a Sunday. Now they let them shut down an unpermitted protest until 6 o'clock at night. It's unbelievable. And then to burn to understand the Mexican flag and El Salvador flag is not going to sell your story. Your story is, I feel like an American, I've been here. Instead, you're saying, I feel like a Mexican and I deserve to take over here. One of the signs said, America's on stolen land.
Ryan, if I disagree with you, I disagree with you. You don't like it, hit the fucking road. You keep telling me that music is better today. You're out of your fucking mind. Out of your mind. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. You're a fucking Momo. It's not even close. Not even close. Not even worth arguing about.
Anyway, that's not going to win over today's America. That might have been fantastic in 2020. We're not buying it now. So between that and what's happening with Rubio pushing to shut down the Darien Gap, the Venezuela taking back their people, what is happening on so many different ways, there is a massive crackdown in America on illegal immigration.
Can we just talk for a second about the Darien Gap? That's going to save a lot of lives of women and children in particular. That is some of the most harshest ground to traverse on the planet. And they're
Colombia should play a role too.
Little ones coming through. So to hear that Secretary Rubio is concentrating on that is a miracle, really.
There's so many balls in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the left, for as much as they care about the humanitarian aspect of immigration, tons of people came through the Darien Gap and lost their lives, to your exact point. That image that we see in Los Angeles, LAPD was ready to engage and arrest folks if necessary. They weren't able to do that. And Bill Malugin says he spoke to the rank and file, and they said, this is the same old crap. We're chasing these guys down around all day for absolutely nothing. And this is what we're seeing. I mean, this is resisting Trump. There you're seeing it in LA. You go over to Chicago, and apparently there are these groups where when they see ICE come in these black SUVs, they mobilize. And ICE was actually not able to make an arrest in Chicago on that day because the community mobilized. But who are you mobilizing to support? The guy in Boston who had a second-degree murder charge? The guy in San Antonio who was found with a murder weapon from an unsolved murder last November, who was, by the way, released by Biden?
Fucking idiots.
Who exactly are you protecting? How about the guy in Buffalo, who is someone who was accused of all kinds of sexual trafficking and was found with an innocent young woman who he is believed to be trafficking at that moment? This is who we're going after. So work with us to protect the innocent and act humanitarianly by stopping some of the things that we're seeing.
The worst go first. Like, who would defend against that, Marie?
Well,
morons.
The Trump team has been telling us that the worst go first. And I've said on this network.
Well, there's a lot of transparency. I mean, we see.
I've said on this network many times, I support convicted criminals being deported. We saw from some of those early flights to Colombia that it included pregnant women. It included children.
Did they come over illegally?
It included, but they had not been convicted of crimes.
No, the first crime is when you break our law of sovereignty.
The Trump team said it will be the hardened criminals, the people Kaylee mentioned, convicted of violent crimes.
And if they are with other illegals who cross the border?
Are we okay deporting pregnant women who have not committed a crime except for coming here? If we are, then we should say that. The Trump team should say that. Second, freedom of expression and protest is still legal in this country. We may not like it. We may, and to Brian's point, I think you make a good point about who are they trying to convince here, right? Who are they trying to convince? I think some of the most effective arguments I've seen made are, for example, people in the restaurant industry, people in the home healthcare industry, industries that rely on immigrants, both legal, undocumented people going through the system and are willing to work with law enforcement to say, look, our entire parts of this entire city we are sitting in would shut down if every person who came here illegally was deported. So how do we do this in a way that, to Kaylee's point, protects people from criminals, doesn't shut down major parts of the economy, including the agriculture sector? That's the challenge right now.
Emily.
Number one, protesting on a freeway is always illegal. That's not protected protest, especially non-permitted protest. But secondly, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like we always talk about this, but I think it's a fallacious argument always. It's sort of like saying, if I can't afford to pay my taxes, what am I going to do? Like I have to do it this way because I can't afford it otherwise. There will be short-term pain as we readjust things. But the notion that the first foundation...
Burning American flags. Yeah, they're proud to be American. So proud to be American, burning the flag. Fuck these people. Go back to fucking Mexico. Go back to where you fucking came from then. Straight up. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Americans are immigrants. Not all of us. Not all of us. If you were born in America and your mom didn't walk over the border while she was pregnant, you're fucking American. They're just mad because the fucking truth hurts. They're mad because the fucking not gonna be no free shit no more. It's fucking pathetic. This shit is disgusting. No one in my family waved a flag from where they came from. They all waved an American flag. These people just like the American money. That's it. It's the only thing they like is the money. They don't like anything to do with America than the fucking dollars. And most of them are on fucking welfare. Trust me. Trust me. I've lived in the cities. I live in between two major cities. I see it all. In the most liberal part of the country. It's fucking pathetic. It's got to stop. This is why America's in debt.
On Elon Musk as well as President Trump. But I do want to go right outside of the White House right now. We do have Caroline Leavitt speaking just to the media right now. Let's listen in.
The illegal surge of deadly drugs and of human beings that we have seen trafficked over the southern border and the northern border, hence the tariffs on Canada. And so the president is making it very clear to both Canada and Mexico that the United States is no longer going to be a dumping ground for illegal deadly drugs and illegal human beings. And you saw President Sheinbaum already conceding and putting 10,000 troops, permanent troops, I would add, not temporary, Mexican soldiers on the southern border to deter some of that illegal migration. So the president will continue to have these negotiations. I won't get ahead of him. He's also going to make sure that Secretary Bessent, soon to be Secretary Lutnick, and
Exactly, Joe. And now we got to pay to get him the fuck out of here, too. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget the women that were sexually abused and unalived, and the people who were fucking robbed, and the crimes that a lot of them did. And all the money spent putting them in fucking hotels. All the fucking taxpayer dollars they got for free food. They got a ton of fucking cash put on EBT cards and got to use cash as well. I'll never forget seeing that lady. She had $4,500 worth of EBT and a couple $1,000s worth of cash on a credit card given to her by fucking Biden and Kamala out of taxpayer dollars. Disgusting. Over here with fucking 3 kids ready to have her 4th. Pregnant with the 4th one. Fucking disgusting. No dad around. Not a single father anywhere to be found. It's fucking ridiculous. If you're gonna do that, do it for American people, not for fucking illegals. Shouldn't even do it for American people, quite frankly. People need to be more responsible. It's fucking ridiculous. American taxpayers get boned constantly. The last 4 years have been terrible. Pay fucking $15,000 in taxes, get no refund, and it's all going to people that aren't even from our country.
and Secretary Rubio are deeply involved in these negotiations as well. Steve. Sure. Well, he said in the Oval Office it'll happen in the next couple of days. I don't have a schedule yet, but I can check with NSC and let you guys know. And we'll obviously provide a readout of that call either via White House statement like we do or via Truth Social like we do sometimes as well. Caitlin.
Confirm that Elon Musk is a special government employee.
Yes.
What kind of security clearance does he have?
I can confirm he's a special government employee. I can also confirm that he has abided by all applicable federal laws. As for his security clearance, I'm not sure, but I can check back with you.
Did he pass a background check? Do you know?
I don't know about the security clearance, but I can check.
And do you know
how much of a retard you got to be as a reporter to ask if Elon Musk passed the security check? Elon Musk builds fucking space shuttles for a living. I'm pretty sure he can pass a fucking government background check and already has, you stupid bitch. Oh, has Elon Musk passed a fucking background check? I don't know. He builds space shuttles. I'm pretty sure he already has. Fucking idiot.
Anyone who's on his team that was at USAID this weekend or in Treasury Department, whether they also have security clearances? I don't know, but I can check on that for you. Sure. I want to ask about the hostage deal. We saw people coming out of Gaza alive because Trump managed to get this deal done. Yeah, that's right. And it was very emotional for people in Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu is coming here tomorrow. He might not want to go through the second phase of the deal. What do you think President Trump would like to happen? Well, I'm not so sure that's true. The ceasefire was extended because of the work of President Trump and his presidential envoy, Steve Witkoff, who has proven to be an incredibly effective negotiator. And the president and this entire administration are committed to having all of the hostages come home. And as you've seen, his team is working very, very hard to do that. And already saw one American hostage coming back home, and another that's right. Will be back home soon. Yes, we hope so. Caroline. Sure.
Carolyn, the president's a keen watcher of the financial markets. How much did Wall Street's fallout this morning have an impact on his decision in regards to the Mexico tariff decision?
It had no decision. What impacted the delay on the tariffs was the president of Mexico committing to putting 10,000 permanent soldiers on the U.S.-Mexican border. The president cares about American lives. And as I just said on television, there's a lot of talk about the markets. There's a lot of talk about, the cost of goods. This administration is wholeheartedly committed to bringing down the cost of living in this country. You see that through deregulation, through the energy actions this president has taken, and also through his commitment to cutting taxes. But when it comes to the cost of an American life, I think for those of us who have children, there's not enough money in the world to bring back the lives that have been lost because of the illegal drug and border crisis. And the president is committed to ensuring that Canada and Mexico and China understand that the United States is not going to be a dumping ground for illegal fentanyl that is killing young people in this country. It's the leading cause of death amongst those aged 18 to 34. And that's the president's number one priority, is protecting American lives.
Can you talk more about the first call that President Trump had with Prime Minister Trudeau this morning? What were some areas for potential negotiations and any bottlenecks?
Yeah.
Professor Oak, if they promised him months ago, why did Trump have to battle with them to get it done? It was a broken promise up until they finally smartened the fuck up.
I hate to be coy, but just because I believe they're on the phone right now, I'll have to go in and check. I don't want to get ahead of the discussions or the conversations, but in the effort of transparency, we will either provide a readout or you'll hear from the president directly.
Caroline, what do you say to Americans who understand the president's negotiating strategy and understand what he's trying to achieve with tariffs, but are worried they're going to get caught in the middle of this and feel the pain, potentially in the short term or even long term?
Well, they won't get caught in the middle if they just comply with what the United States is asking for, which are very simple measures to work with us when it comes to border security, to cooperate with the repatriation of their nation's citizens. You saw President Trump effectively utilize tariffs when he was negotiating with Colombia last weekend as well. Ultimately, they conceded and agreed to the deportation flights that many of them have landed in the last week. Karen.
Do you know if Mr. Musk took the same oath that you and other senior advisors to the president took about adhering to the Constitution, following the law? Do you know if he took that oath?
I don't know the answer to that question, but like I told Caitlin, I can get back to you guys on that.
Do you know what expertise he has in the areas of global health or humanitarian aid to be able to assess what's happening at USAID?
Well, first of all, Elon Musk is a once-in-a-generation business leader. He is an entrepreneur. He serves as a great ally and a friend to the president. And I think Elon Musk also has a little bit of common sense. And I think the American people really appreciate that when it comes to the federal government, because it seems like all common sense has been lost in this city. And that's what you see when you look at USAID. I know Secretary Rubio made some comments about how he will be acting as the director over that agency. And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars being wasted to push DEI outside of the country. Not even in America. No one wants DEI. That's what this election told us. Give it a fucking break. You guys, we just gotta hang in there. Trump's gonna fucking figure it out. It's not gonna happen overnight. The last 4 years, Biden and Harris did a fucking number on us. And the next election comes up, do not vote Democrat. I'm telling you, they're gonna triple down on their bullshit. They're in too deep. They have to keep it going. If they don't keep going, it looks like they were lying. It looks like they were fucking idiots. So they got to continue with their bullshit. Let's check out Patrick Bet David. Trump's enemies are folding. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. Tonight, we will cover Celtics versus Cavaliers. Big Eastern Conference matchup. We'll be doing the Super Bowl this weekend. We cover a lot of sports. Look for me at night. Usually we cover a game every night or every other night. It could be any sport. Anyone that's into any type of sports, check us out. It's fun. We usually watch the games. I do play-by-play. We shoot the shit. Thank you for watching today. Here's our next clip.
Mexico, Canada, and China. Justin Trudeau comes out very strong about the fact that if you're going to do 25% tariffs and this is not fair, and what kind of a partner are you? And he gives this speech. Is this the first one or the second one, Rob, this speech?
There's a few clips. This is where he says specifically 25% retaliatory tariffs against the United States.
Go ahead and play this clip here.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. Ooh. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives.
It's so tough. So that happened.
He's a fucking idiot. And that's why he backed right out of it. It was going to hurt Canadians far more than Americans. Justin Trudeau knows that. That's why he backed down, just like Mexico did. And they're all going to do it. Trump's using tariffs to get these people in line. Trust me, they're all going to fucking do what he wants. There's not even going to be tariffs. He's just using them as a bargaining chip. People think it's going to fucking be tariffs and they're going to be stuck in place and that's that. No, he's using it to play the game. He's a fucking businessman. It's his second time in office. Have a little fucking faith in the guy. Let him do his fucking job. And it's not going to happen overnight. Biden fucked us so bad. I don't think people realize. Biden gave so much money to Ukraine and so much money to illegal immigrants. It's going to take a while to fix it. It's probably going to take at least a year or two. It ain't going to happen overnight. And it ain't Trump's fault. It's just is what it is, unfortunately. People got to have a little patience.
And then Pierre Poilievre comes out and also puts out a strong tweet about what he's going to be doing with U.S. and how this is unacceptable and how you can't say something like this. So both of them are going strong against Trump. Rob, just go to, yeah, there you go. So both of them go fairly strong at U.S. And if you go a little bit lower, you'll see one basic tweet that's Pierre, that he puts a long tweet if you want to read it, all the way at the top. I asked him a couple questions, which we'll address here in a minute, based on his response. Why is Canada's economy weak? Because he said that. Then, military. We talk about military, which we'll get into that because they don't invest much into the military. You and I were talking about it the other when you brought it up. Yeah. To go a little bit lower, Rob, this is the other part that I don't think Mexico or Canada understand, which is 77% of Canada's exports go to the U.S. 84% of Mexico's exports go to the U.S. You know what that means? That's your number one customer, okay? You're talking to your number one customer. Your business owners are taking hits. Both of them rely on U.S. Quick tip for Trudeau and Sheinbaum. Read the art of the deal. Number 2, take a cold shower. 3, apologize to DJT. And 4, pray. Moments later, what does Trudeau do? He comes out with a very clear plan, right, Rob? I don't know if you have it. If you just go to his account, writing out exactly what they're going to be doing. Complete switch from what he said earlier. He said, I just had a good call with the president. Canada's implementing our $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. In addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar. We will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7. Sounds like Trump. What happened? Exactly sounds like ensure 24/7 eyes on the border. Launch a Canada-U.S. joint force strike to combat organized crime, fentanyl, and money laundering.
You're
also
so full of
new
shit.
intelligence directive
Goodbye.
and organized crime and fentanyl, and we'll be backing it with $200 million. Go a little lower, Rob. Please, proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work this thing together. Okay, there's obviously a bunch of things here, Tom. I'll come to you first, and then we'll go into some of the other stories. Your thoughts on this when you saw this first?
Well, let's unpack it all together here. The first thing to unpack is, remember, Trudeau has not resigned. He only said he was resigning as head of the party and as prime minister. And the reason he hasn't fully walked off stage yet is he has a key ally named Jagmeet Singh in their government.
What up,
Think
Brian?
of him as the Schumer of Canada working with the president. So Jagmeet is Schumer and Trudeau is that. And so he's held off actually leaving. And what that means is that the Liberals still are clinging on to power, and they're making decisions because they still have what's called the coalition government. And so most people wanted us to point out, and I've gotten some index from people, and we've seen comments that says, hey, people need to understand that us here in Canada, he told us he was resigning, but he hasn't actually left. He's resigning as head of the party and as prime minister. If he was to run against Poilievre, he's going to get his butt kicked. It's going to be the worst defeat in electoral history in Canada. But Jagmeet wants to stay in power. Some people say he's got some financial interest and even a pension that he's trying to preserve. So that's what's going on. So you have Trudeau dealing with the U.S., which is not what the rest of the Canadian Parliament wants. And so when Trudeau comes out and says, me and the coalition government, we're doing this plus this plus this, they have weak support. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having a 50-50 Senate, very weak support. He picks up the phone and calls Trump. Trump says, I'm sending you an email, cut and paste it. If you could put it on Twitter, that would really be helpful, because that there was exactly what the U.S. wanted. And it's very similar to what Mexico has said. Hey, we're going to control fentanyl. We're going to put some troops at the border. So people need to understand that's what's going on. You're looking at a weak guy that is getting pushed around in Trudeau.
So now, while we're doing this, let me read to you what others are saying about this. Wall Street Journal slams Trump's tariffs the dumbest trade war in history. Okay, and I got a clip I want to play to you guys that I don't think any one of you guys have seen. I want you to see it, just to see how you react. Rob, there's no pages on today's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be tough. Okay, so I got to go through the pages. What does it say? Wall Street. Okay, there we go. So the Wall Street Journal editorial board calls President Trump's new tariff on Canada, Mexico, and China one of the dumbest trade wars in history, arguing that they will harm key U.S. industries rather than achieve their stated goals. The board dismissed White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt's claim that the tariffs would curb drug smuggling, stating drugs have flowed into the U.S. for decades and will continue to do so as long as Americans keep using them. Neither country can stop it. What a position to take. Did you hear that, by the way? Let me read out to you folks one more time. So this is what Caroline Leavitt claims, that the tariffs, not Caroline Leavitt, so drugs have flowed into the U.S. for decades and will continue to do so as long as Americans keep using them. Neither country can stop it, okay? Nothing we can do about it to stop it. I don't know if I agree with that. The op-ed criticized Trump's broader trade philosophy, stating Mr. Trump sometimes sounds as if the U.S. shouldn't import anything at all, that Americans can be perfectly closed economy, making everything at home, and warned them targeting auto imports would backfire since the U.S. auto industry is really a North American industry. with highly integrated supply chains. So while this is going on, and people are saying this, a clip comes up of Ronald Reagan from 1987 that I want to play to you guys. Rob, is this the one?
I have it.
Okay. So this is the clip from Ronald Reagan. The date on this clip, I want to say sometime in 1987. To give you the exact date on this, I'll pull it up, the date. Play this clip of what he said about high tariffs and how he breaks it down. And I want to kind of see a little bit of debate on this here. Go ahead, Rob.
Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. Now, there are sound historical reasons for this. For those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery. You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group, who forget that more than 5 million American jobs are directly tied to the foreign export business, and additional millions are tied to imports. Well, I've never forgotten those jobs, and on trade issues, by and large, we've done well.
Okay, so you hear a message like this. Rob, you just sent the date. The date is what, April 25th, 1987, the radio address to the nation on free and fair trade from Camp David. This is what that was, okay? When you see a message like that, and you see folks are saying, I'm afraid of this is going to be the worst trade war ever, we shouldn't do this, Reagan was against this, all this other stuff, there's a couple of things people don't think about when they hear Ronald Reagan saying this. At the time when he said this, 1987, do you know what percentage of the global GDP China had? 1987.
Much less than now.
China, global GDP.
Probably less than 5%.
It's 1.9%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're at what? 20%?
There you go.
It was a global GDP.
Now they're at 17, 18, 19.
Go, you'll see a number there that says it was around 1.9% in 1987. So it's a very small number. Whatever. I mean, maybe if you look it up, Rob, to see what that number is. So today they're at 19.4%.
Yeah.
Now, U.S. in 1987, was at 28.5%. Can you do U.S. GDP, global GDP, global share of GDP 1987?
And now we're probably at what, 25%?
Look at what we were at. Look at what we were at. Zoom in a little bit. It should be 28.7%. Look at that. 1987, we were 28.7% U.S. Okay. That's when Reagan gave this speech.
Mm-hmm.
Go to U.S. global GDP today. Should just change that and just put 2020 to 2024.
Probably lower, right?
Okay, watch this. Percentage. Zoom in.
Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. Listen to that why tariffs work right now.
No, it should be percentage. Percentage, we are at 25.9%.
Yeah, we're at a lower percentage now than ever.
So China's up big time, and we're significantly
down
lower.
3% since then.
And China's up 20.
Went from a small number that they had. I don't know what their exact number was. We'll pull it up right now, Rob, if you can find it. To us being, we went down, China went up. So one could say at the moment, Reagan was right. But one could make the argument to say 37, 38 years later, they helped strengthen China into a superpower that we're relying on them. Look at that. China's percentage of global GDP was at 1.6%. Is that what it was, Rob? Is that what it's saying? 1987. Can you ask what it is today? China's today? What is China's percentage of global GDP today? So they went from 1.6, 1.9% to 19. It should be like 20%, 19 or 20%.
Yep, you're right.
19.3% today. So
That's
China
huge.
10x'd in 38 years, and we dropped 10%. So guess what? It may have seemed like a noble thing to do at the time, and we all love Reagan. What an incredible man. But economically, we have strengthened everybody else while U.S. got weaker by percentage. Is that how we're supposed to play the game? Isn't that a philosophy of socialism? Strengthen others, but weaken yourself? I don't know in any game that that's the right philosophy. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to criticize a policy that the president came back from 38 years ago. I'm just saying sometimes something may seem good at the time that may be problematic later on. Tom, your thoughts on this here, because this is really the debate that's going on between the two sides.
Yep, and I think the other side knows what they're saying, and they're full of crap. What's happened here is that look at what's happened under Trump's leadership. But this is about leadership, not about permanent tariffs. And the tariffs haven't been permanent. The tariffs under Trump have been tactics, not taxes. He's taken a tactical position.
That's what I was
and he's
saying.
gotten people to move. And by the way, look at that list from Trudeau. If that gets to the Canadian Parliament, that is a good list that makes them a stronger country unto themselves and a helpful partner with the United States. That's a good list. And the Wall Street Journal is treating it like permanent legislation. Oh, this is wrong-headed, When the Journal's editorial board, they know damn well that these are tactics, not permanent taxes.
Correct.
And so they're coming out after him because these are Trump's enemies. But take a look at his leadership. His leadership could not be more clear than Qatar, hours after he's elected, and Qatar says, hey, we're looking forward to the new leadership, and by the way, we're making some changes here about people that can be in our country. If you're associated with Hamas and the Arab Brotherhood, you know what, we're not, no part of that. That was Qatar. Colombia, last week, I'm going to ship Colombians back to Colombia. In other words, I'm sending people home who have criminal records. And he says, no, you're not going to do that. And he says, hey, escucha, tariff muy grande. And he goes, wait a minute. You know, we thought it over. You know, you can send them here. That was, what was that, 4 hours? Colombia moved in 4 hours?
Yeah, they have
and now
to.
you've got Canada moving in less than 48 hours. You are seeing leadership on one side, and you're seeing Trump's enemies using this tariff argument. Oh, he's going to destroy the world. He's going to destroy the economy and everything. What tariffs right now are permanent? Name one. What's
None.
permanent? The world is
I'm in a
moving
different place. And by the way, I'm with you. You're right. None of them are permanent, but I'm in a very different place.
Go
Adam,
ahead.
your thoughts on?
I want to understand your place, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead. Give me your thoughts, and I'll give you my final.
Well, I
thoughts.
think anyone that jumps to conclusions right now just doesn't.
I agree,
understand what's happening
Brian.
Right now, because you talked about the Wall Street Journal. You know, obviously Trump is famous for.
China's
the
killing
art,
us
but
right
basically
now.
What's happening right now? It's the art of the temporary deal. Everything that he's doing right now is like, all right, listen, here's what's going on: 25% tariff, 25% tariff. We're going to revisit this in 30 days. If there's anything we can understand about Trump, it's the following. He's trying to make America wealthy again. You know, if there's anything we know about Trump, he feels like we're being treated very unfairly. We understand that. And there's a template for how he's maneuvering. So in his first administration, a lot of people thought that he was more like an Andrew Jackson, right? This sort of rebellious guy bucking the system. Do you know where he's getting this tariff ideation from? Do you know what president that he's mentioned over and over and over again?
That's right, Sandy. Hope you're well, Sandy. Thank you for checking us out. Please like, share, subscribe. They've been ripping us off for years. They supposedly love us till the gravy train stops. That's right. That's the same thing with illegal immigrants and people that support illegal immigrants and people on welfare and people that need America to keep them safe with our military. Everyone hates America until they need us. It's fucking ridiculous. We have helped people to the point what now we need help. And now people look at us like scumbags. That's why you got to be careful, even in your own life, who you help. That's why you got to take care of yourself and make sure you're okay, because you can't take care of anyone else if you're not okay. The U.S. has taken care of people for so long around the globe and at home that now we're at a critical fucking moment. You're absolutely right, Sandy.
Have you heard this? President William McKinley. Have you heard him talk about this at all? So William McKinley became president, I believe, in 1896. By the way, fun fact, shot, killed while in office. Interesting, right? So he was known as the Tariff King. He was the tariff man on a tariff platform. And basically, after he was shot, Teddy Roosevelt took over. But basically, here are the 3 R's that they talk about of understanding trade. There's number 1, that's bringing in revenue, R, revenue. Number 2 is restriction or protectionism. And number 3 is reciprocity. All right, if you do this, we'll do this. If you do this, we'll do this, sort of playing the game. But you can't do all 3 at once. So there's one thing that Trump is trying to do, is trying to bring in revenue and restrict the flow of illicit activity that's going on in the country, and using that as a bargaining chip.
First of all, it baffles my mind that Wall Street Journal and the Democrats don't see what's going on. Okay, and Tom, you nailed it. These people, Donald Trump is showing dominance in the region. Okay, and Democrats, I can't blame them for being scared, Tom. They're not used to having an alpha male lead the country. Okay, we just went from Joe Biden, who was a doormat, to Donald Trump, who was a matador. Okay, this guy is a freaking bull. He doesn't give a shit.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, you saw that, Tom. And here's the thing. Like, can we understand why?
That's a good analogy.
Let's get to the why. Okay, he is sick and tired of Canada, as cool and as they are. They let all these freaking people invade our freaking country. Okay, they don't know. We don't know who the hell's in here because of them from the north. From the south, we have Mexico, who they're supposed to be our allies. They don't give a shit. They have cartel. They have sex trafficking. They have the freaking fentanyl. They have all this shit coming in. What is he supposed to do? Go to war with these people? No, that's his tactic. You do these tariffs, and what happens? Days later, 24 hours later, everybody changed their tune. And I did the research. United States only imports 15% of our goods internationally, okay? The rest is domestic, all right? So Canada, so of that 15%, Canada and Mexico only produce 5% of that. So it's like, what if they wanted to play this
Not
game?
5% of 15. 5% of the total 15%.
Total, yeah,
yes.
of the total.
Yeah, 1/3 each.
1/3 each. So if they wanted to play this game, they would.
No, Tom. No. That's not what he's saying. That's very important.
Yeah.
15% comes from outside. Say that 15% is whatever, $20 billion. I'm just making up a number.
Yeah.
5% of that 20 billion he's saying is Canada and China, Canada and Mexico. Are you saying 5, meaning each of them have a third of them?
Only 15%. Canada and Mexico only produce 5% of that total 15% of our entire.
Those are 2 different numbers. 5 of the total 15%. So it's not between the 2 of them. They're 10 out of the 15 because where's China?
Yeah.
Where's everybody else? It's not what you're thinking.
Yeah. So if they wanted to get into this trade war, and I think they realized very, very quickly, Pat, they would turn into a third world country, which Mexico, I mean, you're kind of already there. But this is a boss. This is a freaking guy that's tired of people walking all over us. And guess what? You're going to pay your fair share. That's fair.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I went and rewatched the video that you did probably 2 months ago on Trump tariffs.
Yeah.
And there was a quote that I kind of wanted to tee up, but Trump basically came out this weekend and it made crystal clear to me. And he goes, instead of taxing our own citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. And then I went back and I realized that in the 1800s, I think almost 100% of our federal revenue came from tariffs. And now it's closer to 2%. So you did a whole expose on basically how this works. What are your thoughts on basically what Trump is doing now?
Okay, so to me, it's a couple different things. Okay, for me with China and Mexico, that's the craziest thing. All right, U.S., you know how much we spend on our military every year?
$1 trillion.
That's right, Bri.
Do you know what
Within 4 hours, they were coming to get their illegals, too.
From our GDPs, our military expenditure?
Probably 10 to 15%.
Okay, it's not that, but watch this, Rob. Do me a favor, pull up military expenditure by countries. This is very important that when you look at this is, no, go back all, and go on that LinkedIn right there. Yeah, go on Wikipedia. This is very important. And before you look at this, here's what I want you to think about. Do you remember when he exposed the NATO concept? And everybody was like, hey, why are we giving more money than you guys are? You should be more interested in this. I started looking at this and digging in. I'm like, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense to me. So watch. Go to U.S. global percentage of GDP.
Oh, percentage of GDP, probably 3%.
Well, you just saw it. It says 3%. Go on that.
Because part of our actual revenue is
click on that
closer to 10%.
I got you. So click on that. So watch. Guess who's the lowest? Mexico. They only spend 0.7% of their GDP on military. Why? Because America's their neighbor. We offer protection. They spend $11.8 billion on military. That's it.
Yeah.
Mexico doesn't have a military.
Yep.
They don't have a military. And look who's number 7 on that list. Canada, 1.3%. You don't put money into the military. By the way, if they matched, and U.S. is what? Go to U.S. is, I'm going to do the math here for you. U.S.
No, Joe, the problem is that no one helps us. We pay to protect everyone. That's why we have problems with people not giving us a break on their goods. The United States protects fucking 3/4 of the earth. And we're sick of getting fucked. The United Nations fucks the United States every year. Look at how much money the U.S. just gave Ukraine and giving them all type of shit. It's nuts. It's fucking, and it's not right. Why are we always the ones kicking up? And why are we sending all our people to die for everyone else? It's not right. That's why Trump's using tariffs to get these people in line. These tariffs are temporary. They're not to stay. And that's why the minute he puts a tariff on someone, they end up being like, okay, we'll do what you want. Because they know they're fucked. Only reason Mexico and Canada are safe is because they're our neighbors. Let's keep it real. Only reason half of the fucking world is safe is because they're fucked with the United States. But a lot of those countries have been bending us over for fucking years and years and years. And Trump's sick of it. And that's why he's putting an end to it. It's not fucking right. Why do our people go die, and why do we spend all the money and get nothing? And then America consumes a ton of shit from around the world. It's fucking, it's not right.
This is what, 3.4%. We spend 916, okay, billion, but 3.4%. What would happen if even Greece spends more money on their military than Mexico and Canada combined times 2? Think about how embarrassing that is. Now go back to go flip it, Rob, if you could. Yeah, so go back to the lowest at, okay, Mexico. Watch this. What would happen if Mexico spent the same amount that we do to protect their border and protect their country? What's 3.4% divided by 0.7%? 5. What's 5 times 12 billion? 60 billion. What's the difference between 60 billion and 12 billion dollars? 48. They're saving $48 billion just because they know military of U.S. is strong, so no one's going to attack them. Then watch this. Look at Canada. Canada's at 1.3%. If Canada wanted to invest the same amount of money in the military as we do for expenditure, and they went to 3.4%, guess where they would be at? That's 2x, 2.5x. So that's going to be 54 billion, add another 13, 67 billion. 67 billion is an additional 40 billion. So these guys are saving $40 billion, and Mexico is saving $48 billion because they're relying on US's $3.4 billion. Cry me a flipping river. Keep the 25%. Keep it. Keep it for 4 years. Let them realize, hey, you want us to provide protection? No more. Your neighbor. Spend the same amount of money as well. You buy some security. Why are you always relying on me to pay security? So imagine you live in a community, gated community, and you said, we want to have security and cop over here. It's going to cost us 12 grand a month. You pay for it because you're the richest guy in the area. We don't need to pay for it. Bullshit. You pay the cop. You pay the security. I have a problem with this.
Me too.
To me, now somebody may say, well, it's military industrial complex and all this other stuff. Build a bit of a stronger military. When's the last time you thought about Mexico or Canada as a strong military? Never. When's the last time you thought about them being a superpower in the military side? You don't think about them. This, to me, makes me think you are not worried about your border. So if you're not worried about your border, of course you're not going to be sitting there thinking about what you need to be doing. So I'm all about keeping the tariffs on them or telling them, strengthen your damn military. Guess what? If you can show me that you're going to spend 40 to 50 billion strengthening your military, so you're also not going to be attacked. I don't want my neighbors to be unsafe. Both of you guys are beside me. Guess what? You better take care of your family. You take care of your family. I want your house to be protected. If I leave I go out there and buy $1 million of security for my house, hypothetically, okay? And you leave your door open, you leave your back door open, and it's so open for anybody to come and do anything to you. I'm looking at you saying, hey, bro, what are we doing here? Why are you doing this? Somebody robs your house. Guess what house they're looking at? Right next door. Who's next door? Me. Where's fentanyl coming from? Through you guys. Through who? China. Valentine's Day. We're only how many days away from Valentine's Day?
So a nice breakdown by Patrick Bet David and them guys on why we're using tariffs. America's been getting boned for a long time. It is what it is. All right, little Super Bowl talk. Who do you guys got? Who does everyone got? Super Bowl. Let's check out our poll. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. How you guys doing today? Haven't shown much of my face. I'm a little scrubbed out from working today. That's the center, Sean. Let's look at our poll. Who will win the Super Bowl? 54% take the Eagles. 46% got the Chiefs. I can see why. I took the Chiefs at the beginning of the year, so I got to ride with my pick. And I took them at the beginning of the playoffs to win it all. I still think they will. Yeah, they've been talking about shit being rigged for a while. I've been looking into it a little bit. I got to be honest. I don't think it's the NFL that's scripting it. I think the fucking refs. I think the refs are like involved in gambling, I swear. Some shit like the NBA. Or getting paid off or something. I don't think it's the NFL. I think it's something else. Or the players are involved in it, some of them. I don't think it's like the league. I really don't. I don't. Those guys have too much pride to throw the game. You think these guys that are flamboyant are just going to fucking let the other team win because the fucking boss of the league says to? I don't buy it. You think Tom Brady would just let other teams win? He wouldn't. Yeah, I don't buy it, Dutch. I don't buy it. I don't. There's too many plays. There's too many players. Now, if you think it's the refs or a couple players, maybe. But to say the NFL's just giving them a script and this is what's going on, I don't believe it. I don't. I think if it's rigged, it's on a different level. I don't think it's just, here's your script, follow it. But that's my opinion. There's a lot of channels talking about it lately, and I've looked into it. And if it was rigged, people would come out and say it outright. They would. How many people have been screwed over or didn't like how their career ended? Or got shit talked about them? They would come out and say something. So I don't think it's the league. I think it's the referees or some players. I don't think it's scripted. Yeah, everyone says they're entertainment now. That's how they cover their ass. But I don't think it's a script. And I'm not going to argue about it all day long. But I think it's a 50-50 game. I think it's a toss-up. I got a feeling the Eagles, like, even though I took the Chiefs, I got a weird feeling Saquon Barkley's going to have a huge fucking game, and that'll be it. Like, if the Eagles are going to win, I think Saquon runs for fucking 200 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns, something like that. What he could do. I called it. The last 2 games he did it. But it's a close game. It's a tough matchup. It's his birthday, too? Oh, shit. Yeah. I could see the Eagles doing it. If it was anyone else, I would take the Eagles, but I got to fucking go down on my shield. Brian, salute. Good to see you, baby. Oh, that's good, Dutch. You might want to keep that to yourself. Momo. Don't be a Momo. But I think, who do you guys think will be the MVP? Who's going to be the MVP? I think it's going to be Saquon or Mahomes. Mahomes is going to have a big game too, I think. What up, King Live? I see what you did there, King Live. Maybe. Maybe. He might go off. He might go off. Yeah. You don't want to be like me. Some dude, I forget the name of it, was talking shit about me the other day, saying how I paid for my views on a fucking video. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I pay for my views. If I paid for my views, man, I'd be doing a lot better than I am. Some fucking idiot. Oh, you pay for your views. How'd you get so many subscribers in under a year? I don't know, dude. I fucking worked hard at it. Maybe if you weren't such a fucking hater, you might get a viewer or two, too. I pay for my views. Yeah, it looks like it. I'm waiting on my dentist to get my new teeth. That's why I got no teeth in my fucking mouth. But I'm paying for views. Fuck out of here. Fucking idiot. You got Kelsey fumbling. And Worthy. Maybe. We'll see. But I think Mahomes is going to have a big fucking game. I have a feeling. I think him and Barkley, whoever has the bigger game wins. And Mahomes is sneaky running in the playoffs. He beat Buffalo with his legs quite a bit last week. He might do the same to the Eagles this week. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I still got to go with my picks. I can't bitch out now and switch. I don't think I want to anyway. I think the Chiefs get it done. I think they know it's Kelsey's last year. And I don't think you've even seen the best from the Chiefs yet. I really don't. I don't think you've seen them play their best. And someone to look for that hasn't done much lately might have a big game DeAndre Hopkins. Look out for him this weekend. He's been quiet. Maybe they got a few tricks up their sleeve they've been holding on to for the Super Bowl with him. Just a thought. I know he's old. I know he's not the guy he used to be, supposedly. He's still DeAndre Hopkins, man. But I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. I think Mahomes is too fucking good. I think Jalen Hurts will make a mistake before him. I think Jalen Hurts has been very good, but I think he's gonna he's due for like he's due for a turnover. Him and Mahomes haven't thrown interceptions in quite a while, either of them. And both defenses are good. It's going to come down to who has the bigger fucking game, Mahomes or Barkley. And that's a lot to ask Barkley to do. To have your running back outplay a fucking guy that can throw and run is very hard. I also worry about Jalen Hurts' health. I worry about the Philadelphia offensive line. Philly's a little beat up. A little. They're a little bit beat up. And I wonder how they'll hold up. And just fucking Kansas City travels well. I know Philly does too, but I think fucking Mahomes is going to go off. But one thing I would say, if you have some money to blow, only if you have money to blow, don't blame me. If you have money to blow and you're trying to take a chance, if that over is 50 points, or if the over-under is 50 points, you go put $100 on it today. Pick the over on the fucking points. If it's 49, last I saw it was 49.5. You better take that over. If you don't take that over, you're a fool. You don't think these two teams are going to score 50 points together? You're nuts. I think this game goes upwards of 50 points. I'll be shocked if it doesn't. Totally fucking shocked if it doesn't. If it doesn't go over 50 points, it's a bad beat. I'm going to look it up right now. Over under Super Bowl. I think it's 50 points right now. That means you need 51 total points. That means you need each team to score at least fucking 51 points total. They should both do that. It was 48.5 when I jumped in. Last week it was 48.5. I took the over. Now it's to 50. 51, 52, it starts getting a little close. But I think that's a good bet to take. I took the over. I took the over at 48.5. Right now they're saying it's 50. Look around too. If you're going to gamble on the game, look around. If you live in a state where you have more than one option, look at different books. You might be able to get it lower. See when this article is from. This is from today. And the under is hit in 5 of the last six Super Bowls. Kansas City has scored at least 25 points in 3 of its 4 Super Bowls. I know the Eagles put up points in every one of their Super Bowls too, recently. I don't know. That's the bet I would take. Maybe if you can find a prop bet. Something like anytime touchdown for Saquon. Maybe 2 touchdowns for Saquon you might be able to find. But what was I going to say? We're going to do Celtics versus Cavaliers tonight. I'll be doing live play-by-play, hanging out, watching that game. Let's check out our poll. 54% took the Eagles in the Super Bowl. 46% took the Chiefs. We'll be doing the Super Bowl live watch party. Tonight, I'm doing a live watch party for Celtics Cavaliers around 7:30. That will stop. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for hanging out. And I will catch you guys later. If not, I will catch you mañana. Come hang out. Come watch the ball game tonight. Peace.